Right now, right now. The change starts now. Oh no, where's my water? Hold on a second. It's way over here. Uh, ta-da! I know I have these letters to read. I'm going to need this. So welcome to What the Fuck Tuesday. I just saw y'all just like 2 days ago. But it's always good to see you again. We have on deck, for those of you who are new, I see some new names in the chat, or names I haven't seen that much. Um, Welcome to the show, new people and the old timers. What we do here is people send in their advice questions in advance. My cousin, lovely cousin Candace, puts them into a document for me so I don't see the questions. I don't know what any of you said until I read them on the air. So you hear them at the same time as I do. The fun part is that we never know what I'm going to say and it's going to come out of my mouth. It's going to be something sensible, something they can use. Am I going to read people? Am I going to laugh at them? We just never know how that's going to work. But people take that chance because they send their question in and they want to take that gamble. So that's what we do. So today we have 25. Wait, that can't be right. Yep, 25. We have 25 questions, so we're going to be here for a minute. Yeah, we this Friday we will be here Friday, and then the following Friday, June 11th, we start with the DNN, the Dusty News Network comes back for its summer. That's our summer programming. We just keep it light. It's funny. We have a lot of laughs, but hopefully you will become a subscriber to the channel so you can get notification of all those lovely things that we do plus more. Yeah, you guys keep track because new people will come in and they'll be like, "Oh, what question are we on?" So you guys can tell them. All right, let's get going here. Question number one is from a young lady in the 26 to 29 age group from Plymouth, Devon, England. If a friend did any of the following to you, what would you make of it? You buy tickets for both of you for an event and you meet there. She offers to buy lunch for both of you, but the bill doesn't cover her share of the tickets. Doesn't offer the difference. Happens several times. Hmm. Invites herself to stay at your house a lot, including several weekends on the trot while she sorts out her parents' house probate. They live very close to you. Rarely, if ever, returns the favor, probably a 5 to 95 ratio. If you go shopping together, she gathers up armfuls of clothes to try on and expects you to help her choose and get other clothes for her while she's in the changing room. You lose the will to live to find anything for yourself. Tries to take an item of clothing out of your hands that you picked up to look at. Wow. Tells you a different version of events than her husband, i.e., why someone fell out with her. Other conversations just don't add up. Insists on borrowing a dress you have only just bought, borrows other items but never returns them. Is told by a manager about your redundancy from a job where you both work a few days before you are told, and then makes a show of trying to prevent it, although it's pointless. Withholds an invite to a party by a mutual friend and goes with someone else instead. Wow. Agrees to spend Easter with you and then asks as if you haven't had that conversation next time you see her, i.e., she's doing something else. That has happened several times. You ask for a very rare favor from her as you are setting up a business. She conveniently forgets to do it. Hmm. Calls you when she's staying at her parents' house and tries to order you to go to the local supermarket to get her a hair dryer because she's forgotten hers and washed her hair. Her husband's sitting next to her having breakfast. Both houses are equal distance to the same supermarket. Asks you about your Sky package and you give her a card offering both of you vouchers if she signs up. She does sign up, but she doesn't use the deal. You travel 2 hours to meet her by train, and she's an hour and a half late, which is from her journey, which is 10 minutes away from her house with no explanation. She tries to offer you your birthday gift, which she smashed on the way. Puts a stool between you and the person you are talking to in a bar and sits on it so you can't see them anymore. Would like the puppy you are rehoming. It's pedigree, but you have kept it back to sort out health issues. But asks if you can hold on to it while she goes on holiday and various social events and expects it for free. What would your take be on someone who behaved in such a way? What would you do, Deb? Well, I'm going to say this. Usually I reserve this adjective for males, the milk toast one. But that's you. Okay, you're being like really wimpy, passive, and just letting her steamroll you for no reason. It's like, what are you getting out of this friendship that you feel like I mean, I could see if she was paying your bills and she was rich and she took you on vacations and stuff, so you felt like, the advantages to having her in your life exceeded the negatives. But where's the good part in this relationship? She sounds like a broom riding bitch. I don't understand why you want to be bothered with her. And you have to look at yourself, young lady, because I'm going to tell you this. By the time someone did any of these things to you the second time, everybody gets one time because shit happens. Sometimes they're not aware that they did it. You jack them up. They stop doing, there's reasons why people do things that they do. But by the time this has happened to you the second time, it's time to reconsider the value of this relationship because let's just go through this. I'm just not going through all of them. I just pick a couple of them and how I would do it. So she offers to buy lunch for you. I would say, okay, well, you can still do that, but give me the money for the ticket first. That's what we agreed. I want my money. Okay, problem solved. Then if she didn't pay, cover the difference, or she wanted you to go pay for your own, it wouldn't matter, right? Because you would have got your money. Okay, she invites herself to stay at your house. You say, no, it's not convenient for you to be here. My husband and I want some alone time. So you stay with your parents or wherever you're going to go, hotel, but you won't be here. Thanks. Or she just wants to snatch something out of your hand. One thing I don't tolerate is people snatching anything from me. That is my number two pet peeve. And I will not only snatch it back, but I will shove you away from me because that is such an aggressive, demeaning thing for someone to do to you. That's an adult. I mean, little kids snatch stuff because they're so, all fascinated with it. They want it and they don't know any better. They're 1 or 2 years old. Okay, but by the time they get a little older than that, they know not to snatch stuff out of people's hands. And a grown woman in her 20s knows that as well. So you're just letting her disrespect you in that instance. She want to borrow a dress you have only just bought. Why do you want my brand new dress? That's not for you. That's for me. You can borrow it after I wear it about 20 times, but right now, no, you're not borrowing nothing. And you already borrowed stuff from me that you haven't returned, so don't ask me for nothing else. Don't ask me to borrow nothing from out of my closet unless you're gonna pay for the shit that you took and never gave me back. You give me about $400, then you might be able to borrow something else. Or withholds an invite to a party and goes with someone else instead. See, that right there, just that one thing would have tore her drawers with me. Asking you to go get her a hairdryer, her husband sitting next to her and say, well, you know what? Your husband is there. Tell him to do it. Because, I'm not fucking you. So there's no value to me to do shit for you. And I would have hung up the phone. So you get me out of my bed and away from my breakfast table and my husband and my family to go get you a hairdresser, bitch, out the air dryer. You'll sit outside in the sun and the wind. That'll do a good job. That's what people used to do in the olden days. Did nobody have no hair dryer? You can make that work. It's better for your hair anyway. Less heat damage. It puts a stool between you and the person you are talking to in a bar and sits on it. You guys are supposed to say, you need to move that chair because I'm talking to so and so. Why did you do that? That's so rude. Move the chair so I can see who I'm talking to. Just like I was before you came over here. That's what I would have told her. But see, I'm just saying it's like, this girl is only doing all this because you're letting her. You don't have many boundaries. I suggest you look at the video on setting boundaries. It's on the channel and start, going in that direction. Let's move on. Question number 2, because there's not too much to say about that. Female, 26 to 29, out of Albany, California. Oh, that's not too far from here. My first date with one guy, we went to get coffees and for a nice walk, but I ended up paying for it. I don't have issues with that per se, but the whole story was off. I had some coins in my pocket and reached for it. He saw me getting those coins out and didn't offer himself or a comment. When I noticed he didn't reach for his money, I said out of politeness, no worries, I got this. Have some change here. And he replied, okay, it's not like it's much anyway. He thanked me after for the company and coffee, but I still can't shake off the feeling What a lack of a gentleman he is. I do believe in splitting costs, but I thought a guy should pay for the first date. We both work and have salaries, but a woman should still reach out to be polite. And his comment was whatever. Also, was him texting me to ask me out. I just don't know how to take this. I guess she was supposed to ask, was him texting me to ask me out a bad thing, but she left off the end of the sentence. If a grown man in his mid to late 20s, early 30s, texts you to ask you out on a date, you ignore it like you never saw it. You know why you do that? Because texting a grown man, that's something teenagers, kids do. A grown man should know to pick up the phone and ask a grown woman out formally, respectfully, seriously. He gonna send you some casual ass text and you respond to it. Okay, that was a donkey move on your part. Okay, now the second thing is, why do you believe in splitting costs? I don't believe in any such thing. I'm not splitting shit. If I'm pulling my money out, I'm paying for mine, and then I'm checking up the deuces. I'm out. You do whatever you need to do. Hold fort, wash dishes, go in the corner and panhandle. I don't care what you do, but I'm not paying for no man's nothing. Okay, so I don't know where you get off with that. I mean, it's like you did all this stuff. Like he didn't offer himself or anything. You're not supposed to worry about what he offers. You're supposed to just say, "Well, what are you not going to pay the coffee for the coffee? Am I paying for my coffee?" And so then he would have been forced to say yes or no. And if he said yes, then you pull out your coins and you pay your $1.50 or whatever it was for your $2 for your coffee and say, well, I wish I could say it was nice meeting your cheap fucking ass. And then you get up and walk out. Yeah, texting is stupid. You know, and any woman listening to this, don't you ever accept a date or anything else from a man via text. If that motherfucker is too cowardly, too lazy, too much of a dusty cretin to ask you out formally and responsibly and respectfully as a man by telephone or face to face, you ignore him because he ain't on your radar. You understand me? Don't you ever do that. You just lower yourself. Your total value is lowered. If you do stuff like that, you just portray yourself as some kind of desperate bitch. You don't want to do that. Okay. And if you don't have enough sense to ask, you don't need to coach him like, well, I'm only going to go out with people who call me, is what most of you say. So you be coaching them. You don't coach a grown man. You don't tell a grown man how to act. He's grown. He knows that already. He just said what he could get away with. Okay, so you don't respond. He says you would text you. I'd be looking at that shit. I would press delete and block. And that would just be that. He would cease to exist in my world after trying to stunt like that. So you guys, I don't know. There's no boundaries here for you young women. You just don't have any kind of strategy or any kind of I don't know what I'm trying to say. There's just no rules for men to get to you or have access to you. You don't have anything. You just give them whatever they want, any old kind of way that they want, ask you to give it to them. Okay, so you don't know how to take this. I want you to block him and go back to the drawing board, and then you, in the future, you conduct yourself like I said. You're not paying for the date. Okay, and if he wants you to pay for yours, then you pay for yours, and then you get up and you never speak to him again. You know. Like I said, I like coffee. A lot of women's like, well, no, I want him to take me to dinner. This and that. Hungry bitch, feed your damn self. The whole point of going on a meet and greet is to see if you even like the clown. You don't want to be getting somewhere stuck with his ass for 2 or 3, 4 hours while he want to eat dinner and dessert and coffee and go for a walk and all this kind of stuff and you can't stand him. Do you know, okay, at my hourly rate, my hourly website and consulting fee rate, I have just lost $600 or $700 that I could have been making dealing with that fool. Okay, that's how I think about it. I'm not giving you that kind of time because that time is money. So the only thing I'm going to give you is you got 30 minutes. You better make it work. And so I'm in and out in 30 minutes, 40 at the most. Okay, if the conversation's funny or something, I might say a little more for a few more laughs. But I'm not giving nobody no hour or 2 or 3 of my time on the first meet. But y'all be so hungry, so fucking absolutely having these strange standards. No, he gonna feed me like your ass ain't never had a meal. And then you waste time. You waste time. You get in, you meet his fucking ass, you just look at him, you let him look at you, you see how he's what he's working with, what he's talking about. You ask him your questions, you see his responses. If you like him, then y'all go out again and then he'll take you to dinner. But you don't insist on that. You get out and in and out. You can have 3 or 4 coffee dates in one day. I've done it. Okay? But I like coffee. So to me, that's no problem. I'll sit there and I'll have that coffee and I will look at you. I'm only gonna drink half of it everywhere. I'm gonna drink half, 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 half. And then I'm gonna be looking at them, I'm gonna be asking them my questions to see who gonna make it to round two. Most of them don't. Yeah, I'm telling you. TB say I don't care how slim the pickings are. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, shh. But it drives me crazy because there's channels where they be teaching women that if a man takes you out, that means you have more value. If your value and your opinion of yourself is based on some motherfucker that you don't even know spending $29.99 on your hungry ass, then you have problems bigger than what this channel can work with. Okay? Your value is not associated with what a man takes you out for a date, on a dinner date. So many women come here saying that. Well, I'm worth more than that. You are silly. Your time is what should be worth more than that. Not the fact that you feel like him buying you a meal is what your value is based on. Your focus is all fucked up. You need to reframe that shit. And if you don't understand about making money and the value of your time, that means you need a better job. You need a better hustle. You making minimum wage or some shit, unless your ass is 21 or under, that's not right. Okay, you need to do something to elevate your game. But your money, when you spend a time with a motherfucker, it's your money is what you losing. And that's what I be looking at. The clock is ticking. I'm seeing dollar signs. Every minute I'm sitting there with some trifling two-bit piece of shit, monkey man, talking shit to me. I'm seeing dollar signs just flying out my wallet, blowing in the wind. I'm up. I'm out. And I'm not staying there. I can cook better than any restaurant anyway. Y'all see my shit I be posting? I have a whole cookbook and a whole blog about cooking vegan food. I haven't put anything on it yet lately, but I still have it and the whole cookbook. Okay, so I know how to cook. I'm not really trying to have eat no restaurant food. I cook my own shit. Niggas be fighting to try to get over here for a fucking meal. I I really want young girls to understand that and stop listening to these silly bitches that trying to get you to think that some man spending $30 on you is a testament to your value. Even if it's $50. Shit, that's chump change. That's chump change. So, you know, it's Leandra. I just wanted them to see a different perspective. Because some people come, from hood rat environments where people don't even have jobs. Everybody on welfare and whatnot. So to them, I mean, maybe, going to Sizzler is a big deal. But I'm trying to tell you it's not. And if that's what you basing your worth on, you have problems and you need to rectify that situation. So a situation like this, you stay out of your pocket. He can't even pay $2 for a cup of coffee. That motherfucker is stupid and you don't want to be bothered with him. Cut him loose. You're trying to come up on some pussy for $2. Nigga, what? Let me direct you to my friend's OnlyFans page and pop out that 50. Why don't you? Question number 3, male, 30 to 35, from Winnipeg, Canada. My new girlfriend and I have been together for about 3 months. She's 24, I'm 32. I don't know. I think that's a little old for her. The other day, she met my very handsome best friend. He's also my age. Auntie Deb, in spite of this being a new relationship, I've never felt so wanted, secure, and understood. I've never felt happier. Everyone around me sees that, so do her friends. She's very affectionate, does not hide her relation with anybody, has told her parents about me, and even asked if I want to be her plus one at a family wedding. Pictures of us on her phone wallpaper, etc. I can say that this is the one. She's a very physical person, I suppose naturally flirty. The other day, my best friend invited us for dinner at his house. His pregnant wife was there, her mother, my mother, etc. We went and had an amazing time. However, I couldn't help but notice how while she sat next to him, she would touch his leg for extended periods of time and on some occasions left her hand there while talking and laughing with him. I didn't mention anything, but it made me quite uncomfortable. Hmm. My mother even noticed, and although I haven't mentioned anything to anyone, I believe he did as well. Though throughout the night she made it very clear how good looking she thought he was when my mother spoke about him. I don't believe she touched my other friends this way that night. It's been a week since, and I haven't brought it up. We have been spoken about cheating and flirting with other people, etc. And she said that it would be unacceptable to her if her partner did anything like kissing, flirting via text, sex, even by accident. I remember when we first became official, she deleted all her flirty pictures from her Instagram. I do feel like I can trust her, but this one situation worried me. Am I being jealous? I can just imagine myself doing this to her best friend. It probably wouldn't be acceptable. Anyways, just want to know your options. Oh, you know how I am. I'm telling you, I am the mirroring queen. So I wouldn't say anything either. I would wait until we got to a situation where she had some cute friends, and I would do everything that she did to my friend. I would do it to hers and see how she liked it. And then if she started acting stupid, I would say, "Oh, I'm not doing nothing that you didn't do when I took you around my friend." Do you understand how fucked up that is now? I don't expect to have anything like that happen again now that you get to see how it feels. Because that's how what I'm going to do here in this relationship. Every single thing that you do, I'm going to do it too. I'm going to do it back to you. I'm going to make sure you understand how it feels. I'm not going to say a word. I'm going to just dog your ass out just like you did me. And some people say that's not a good relationship. A good tactic for a relationship, but it's never failed me because once you put people on notice that you are not afraid to act a fool just like they do, you should see men, their eyes they go like side to side like this, or they go up to the ceiling and they cock their head like that and they start picturing it, right? Because I can tell by their body language, they're picturing what that's going to look like and how they're going to feel, and they don't like it. You can see the expression because I'm not afraid to do that. I'm not afraid to do that. I will rub on your friend's leg. I will do all up in your friend's face. I'll tell him how fine he is, how I wish I had met him first. I will just rub it in and just amp the shit up real tight. So don't do that. Don't do that. But see, my friends are the kind that would tell him to get his fucking hands off of him, and what the fuck he think. My friends are that wouldn't work. But I'm just saying because most people's friends are savages like mine. But you have um, this kind of situation. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't have said anything to her either. I just would have waited until we got around some of her friends, and I would have done everything that she did, and watch her face crumble and her face be wrecked, and the tears start to fall. And then I would take her home, and yeah, I'm telling you, I already know how I am. I'm evil. I told them I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna lay in wait and I'm gonna plot and plan. And then I'm gonna come out like a fucking savage and wreck your world. That's how I'm going to do things. So I know you probably won't do that because you like her. You like her too much and you feel like she's the one and all this kind of stuff. But let me explain something to you, dude. Women don't respect men who are milk toast and weak. So even if you don't take my approach and fire back, you better sit her down and tell her, look, what you did, I've been thinking about how, and I'm trying to wrestle it around in my mind, and I still can't come to no kind of conclusion about why you conducted yourself like that in front of my best friend's pregnant wife, in front of him, and in front of my mother. That was some tawdry, trashy bullshit that you did. Touching all over that woman's husband and telling my mother how fine you think he is. What kind of bullshit was that? That shit made me really give you the side eye and question who you are. Because that was some embarrassing, foul shit. It was humiliating and it was embarrassing and hurtful to his wife. But you didn't give a fuck. You just doing what you wanted to do with no regard for anybody's feelings but yours. I didn't like that shit. If you repeat that shit one more time, we're going to be through. So, you're going to have to you're going to have to come hard like a G verbally and check her ass, or you're gonna have to do like I said, don't say nothing and just do an instant replay. Then you could break up with her after that if you want to. But I'm just saying, this kind of thing where someone crosses those kind of boundaries, especially right in front of the man's pregnant wife. See, me as a pregnant woman, I would have beat her ass. Get your fucking hands off my husband. What's wrong with you, bitch? You all up in my house and you crossing lines. As a matter of fact, dude, get your bitch and get the fuck out of my house. See, that would have been me. That's like, because I know I was pregnant, I was crazy. I was crazier than I am now. So, you know what I mean? So she would have been in my house acting like that as soon as I saw it. That would have been out. She would have been out. Yeah, I mean, I don't really quite know how to read her, but a lot of times, when these kind of girls, they're just so desperate for acknowledgement and male validation. They have seriously low self-esteem. And so that's what they do. They focus on that. And, the fact that she's not thinking about the wife and his mother and him, is a problem. Plus the dude, I mean, he's confused. It's his buddy's girl and his wife is there. And you know what I mean? It's his house and he's probably scared to do anything because he doesn't want to, like mess up with the relationship with his friend, but then he doesn't know really what to do. So he doesn't do anything. And that's what happens with a lot of guys. They're trying to be nice and just, walk up in the middle, walk the middle line and not really offend anybody or come too strong. But see, me, I don't give a fuck because it's my house. Bitch, you a guest in my house, and right now you not one. Get your purse and shit and get the fuck out. And don't come back. Don't come back. Because one then I won't be pregnant and I will stomp you. Let's move on. Question number 4. Female, 21 to 25 out of Richmond, Virginia. I broke up with my ex this Sunday. I immediately asked him, after breaking up, for my things in his car back. I said, you can put them in my mailbox, but I really need my house key back. He said, I'm sorry, I'll drop them off. 2 days later, he texted me and said, can I come see you? Can we have eggplant? And I said, where's my stuff? You said you were bringing it. And he didn't respond. Why is he bringing my stuff to me? Because he knows it's a way to torture you. So what you were supposed to do is when he didn't bring the stuff back, you were supposed to call your landlord and say, I lost my keys. I need the locks changed immediately. I cannot stay here another night by myself with the key, missing like that. It's very scary to me and I don't feel safe. And then they will send a maintenance guy and they will change the locks. Okay, so you don't need that key back. And whatever else shit you left in his car, short of it being like the one picture of your great grandmother that's left on this planet or something like that, everything else you can buy again. So don't even worry about it. So if he calls you talking that kind of shit, like he think he gonna hold your shit hostage for some pussy, and you just tell him no, your dick is not that good. So you just keep all that shit, throw it away, burn it, whatever you want to do, give it to the homeless people. I don't care what you do with it. I've already changed my locks and I bought new stuff. So you do whatever you want to with it. Just lose my number. And then you hang up from him and block him. And then it's done. So, all this angst that you got about trying to chase after him and stuff, that's what he wants. It gives him a sense of power. You yank that out from under him like they do them tablecloths with all the dishes on it. And then you just let him sit there, stewing in his own juices while you're going with your life. I'm like, I wouldn't trust him anyway if he gave me my couch key back because he probably made 50 copies of it. Gave copies to his friends and all kinds, to the boosters, all kind of shit. I don't trust niggas. As you can see, I don't trust them. That's why ain't nobody ever had a key to my house. My daughter had one and I barely want to give her one. Question number 5, male, 30 to 35 from Chicago, Illinois. I've been with my girlfriend for 5 years on and off lately. In the past, she always made a really big deal about my birthday. She makes a big deal out of everyone's birthday, even talking about it for days before to pump me up. But there was none of that this year. In the past, she would also call me at midnight so she could be the first one to wish me a happy birthday. I never got that call last night despite being in contact with her less than an hour beforehand. She had been at a retirement party for a coworker and had some wine, so I just assumed she was a little drunk and forgot. No big deal. She sent me a long string of text messages this morning, but no mention of my birthday. Admittedly, we're on very shaky ground right now. There's a lot to this, but I'm not going to bore you with all the details. But for her last birthday, we had been broken up for almost 4 months, so I never reached out. She was very hurt for that, but we were broken up, so why would I reach out to her on her birthday? Currently, we only been back together for 2 months after 9 months apart, and her chasing me down that whole time. I was the one who had ended it, and it was due to her actions. She did some lousy things that would have caused anyone to end a relationship. She really hasn't met my expectations in her attempts to win me back, but I've tried to let that go. Just last week, she was blatantly rubbing some other guy in my face trying to make me jealous, but I ignored it. All of this makes me think that A, she's getting revenge for me not reaching out on her birthday. Yes, petty, but I wouldn't put it past her. Or B, maybe someone else really does have her attention and she flat out forgot my birthday because I'm not that important anymore. No, it's not the end of the day yet, but this is very unlike her. Mostly due to her lack of investment since we've been back together, I have one foot out the door as it is. And she knows this. We've communicated like crazy to repair this relationship, but I'm tired of covering the same old ground and nothing changing. I guess my question is, am I blowing this out of proportion? I'm quite hurt, and this just may have pushed me over the edge in terms of both feet walking out the door. What's your advice? Well, the birthday is, what are you, 5? Fuck out of here with that. You want all this acknowledgement and feel like a prince and shit your ass into the 30 to 35 age group. Really? This is a non factor. What I am going to say though, if you say that she's not putting much effort in, you guys keep covering the same ground, it's just more and more the same, you ain't really feeling it. Why are you wasting your time then? See, my rule is I never advise people to go backwards because inevitably, in spite of people claiming they want it and they've changed and all this old stuff here, they never change. People don't change. So they're going to they might, put on a front because they're trying to get you back where they want you. But the bottom line is who their innate nature is going to surface at some point, and they can't hold that back. And that's what you're seeing right now. So since you already knew she was like that, why would you get back with her? See, I just don't understand why people do that. It's like you being on a hamster wheel. You need to jump off and go in a different direction and stop going around, 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 thinking that you're going somewhere. You ain't going nowhere. You're just chasing your tail. Okay? That would be my suggestion. Don't even worry about this. Don't fixate on this. No energy towards this. Tell her this just not working and this time we're breaking up for real. Don't call me anymore. And then be done with it. It's the first of the month. This is a good day to break up. Question number 6, female 30 to 35, and it says, too embarrassed to say. Hello, Deb, Candace, and ladies of the squad. My partner and I have been together for 5 years. We were friends first, and I lived with him and his family 1 month into our relationship because we graduated college and I couldn't go home. We've had some bumps and tumbles along the way, but we've really grown, and he's the kindest, best friend I've ever had. He's objectively handsome and sweet and can find everything, whereas I lose everything. I'm motivated, and he struggles with that, so I encourage him. We balance each other. But ladies, my God, the eggplant is awful. This might be a harsh rant. He was a virgin when we got together, so I know there'd be a learning curve. But he seems to have no instincts in that direction at all. I won't tongue kiss him anymore because he either won't do anything with his tongue or he'll just jam it in deep and just leave it there. He once drifted off watching a show behind me mid makeout and just left his mouth open. Okay, this dude is something. Wait, how old are these people again? Okay, you on the 30 to 35 age group. This dudes are usually raring to go at that age. Hmm. Uh, I asked him to grab my boobs, so he clamps them from the side like a crab and just squeezes up and down. Oh, okay. I'm not going to read the rest of it. I asked him to nibble my neck and ear so he bites my cartilage and just hangs on like those magnetic fish games. He struggles to keep a boner if he's hungry or tired or thinking about work. He never tells me he's not in the mood for it, and he'll even lose his boner if he's the one that initiates. I feel like it happens too often for someone his age and health. We've had the depression and testosterone discussion. It gets better for a while, but if it happens once, it's going to happen again, no matter how encouraging and casual I am about it. He never used to initiate. Now he's learned to, but it's so subtle and he never seduces me. He'll just put a hand on my butt, and if I don't realize that's a sign, he won't go any further. Okay, I've tried. When he fails, I don't punish or belittle him as you shouldn't. Who said you shouldn't? Please, that's the first thing I'm going to do. Beware, the belittlement is coming. Unlike you, and certainly not like me, but you will get some belittlement coming. I don't fake. I give positive reinforcement. Okay, you be doing too much. Sometimes I take over and show him exactly how I want to be loved and ask him what he wants. He simply says he likes what we're doing. I don't feel loved or connected to him during our eggplant. Sometimes after we finish or it fails, I'm so frustrated I want to cry or scream. I don't subject him to my emotions at that time because I feel like that just hurt him unfairly. Okay, then she says they have great intimacy in other aspects of the relationship. Oh, I don't want to lose what we have, but I'm not happy the way things are. I don't know if there's a way to fix this. There isn't. Your dude is gay. He's gay. Hey, 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 hey. He don't like pussy. Hey, hey. He don't like pussy. Hey, hey. Your dude is gay. He likes the dick. He likes the dick. He don't like you. Okay, I don't know what else to tell you. It's not even okay at 15. Shit, have these 15-year-olds be knowing everything. He ain't into women. This dude is gay as hell. Gay. Gay, gay, gay. Okay. When you admit that to yourself, that your dude is not into you physically at all, then you can let this go. You trying to make, as my grandmother used to say, a silk purse out of a sow's ear, and it's never gonna happen. He sounds sweet. He may be sweet, but he's gay. She likes straight men. There's nothing here for her. Let's move on. Question number 7. Female, 35 to 40. Well, see, he might not. They're so young. He might not realize that he's gay yet. A lot of men don't come to that they don't acknowledge that about themselves until they're in their 30s and even older. Sometimes they get married, they have a family. I mean, they just live this life, but they feel like there's something missing, right? And then they meet this one dude, and then they go into it whole hog, and they just have all the passion and the lust and all the romance and everything that they've always longed for and always was looking for, but it came from another man instead of a woman. That's when they realize that they're gay. So I'm not saying that everybody, that he's intentionally deceiving her. Please don't interpret that from what I said. I'm saying from everything that I'm reading here that the guy is gay. He just, evidently neither one of them are very astute in that direction. She's trying so hard to make this be what it is never going to be. Like, have him to be passionate about her, desire her. It's not going to happen. I would have, me, I'm telling you, she said, I don't want to belittle him. I would have got up belittling him. What the fuck was that? You made me wasting my lingerie and cologne and stuff on that bullshit. You can't fuck, sir. You need to go back to the drawing board and get you some lessons or some shit. I don't be trying to sleep with me and you don't know what the fuck you doing. You better get out of here. Get your shit and get out. I've thrown men out of my house before. One dude, I still remember that was when I was in Texas. Mid-stroke. Mid-stroke, I was like, okay, that's enough of this. I can't do this. I can't do this. So I just tapped him on his chest. And he's like, he was in his moment. And he kind of snapped out of it. And he was like, what? I'm like, I want you to stop now. And he's like, why? I said, because I don't like this. It's not working for me. And he was like, what? And he was looking you could feel shit shriveling up. And he was all disturbed and perturbed. And I was like, and I'm thinking, don't get jiggy because you don't know it, but I have a hunting knife under my pillow and I will cut you open like you are a pig. So, but he was, he was cool. He didn't do anything. But, some dudes get upset. But he was probably so confused he didn't really know what to do. And he's like, damn, I just never had nobody treat me like that. I said, I ain't never had no dick like that. So I guess that makes us even. So bye. And that was the end of that. He was cute too. Him and his father owned a nightclub. That's where I met him. So I used to like to go there and get free drinks and stuff. He was all over me. So this was going to be our moment, right? Waste of time. I so wished I had never done that and just kept getting them free drinks. So after that, he didn't want to give me the free drinks no more. Yeah, men do get polite responses. So, because so many women are socialized to not hurt men's feelings and, bruise their ego. I don't give a fuck about your ego. I care about mine. And if we trying to get busy, I care about my coochie and what you doing to it and how it's working and feeling for me. If it's not feeling good, you got to go, son. That means you don't know what the fuck you doing and you out. I'm out. You're not gonna be using me like that. I'm not getting nothing out of it. Just humping up and down like somebody's jackhammer or some shit. I'm not. You're not doing me like that. I mean, that wasn't what he was doing, but I don't know. It just wasn't working for me. It wasn't like he was that so super awful, but he just seemed real. I don't know. Like he wasn't there. He was. I don't even know how to explain it, but I didn't feel like we were making that soulful connection that I would be looking for, and I wasn't having no parts of it. I didn't want to be bothered with him. I just wanted him to leave, and so that's what happened. You know how I am, Lee. I don't like to mince words. All right, let's move on. I went on my yeah. Lil Brown, yeah, he was disconnected. Yeah, that is yeah. He was like he was somewhere else or something. It was just really weird. I mean, I can't really maybe it was so long ago, but I just remember feeling like, like I should be like going, "Hello," snapping and like, to get his attention or something. It was just really a weird thing. I just never had anybody do that before or since. But yeah, he had to go. Let's move on. Question number 7. Female 35 to 40 from Adelaide, Australia. I have been finding my relationship with my dad frustrating for some time now. My mom passed away when I was in my mid 20s, and my dad remarried some years later. He and his wife always made it clear they would move back to her home country when my dad reached retirement age. Made the move early, and now it feels like he can't be bothered with me anymore. I put all the effort into our relationship but don't get anything back. He never calls. It's always me that calls him. If I left it to him make contact, I don't know how long it would be. When I call him, he busy. He always says he'll call back, but he doesn't. When I do manage to have a conversation with him, it dries up quickly. He is the same with my sister. He calls her every other Wednesday, and I'm hurt he hasn't made the same arrangement with me. There have been a couple of times I have opened up to him about something personal, and he became aggressive. I hung up each time, hurt by how he's talked to me. He expects my kids to talk to him because he doesn't be bothered, but because he hasn't bothered to build up much of a relationship with them, they can be shy. When they don't respond, he then becomes rude and insulting. Last time he called my daughter odd. I do talk to my kids about him. I show them photos of him and his wife, and every year for their birthdays, we send a birthday package and the kids do drawings. But I became disheartened when he doesn't give back. There have been no birthday or Christmas presents for a couple of years now. Before the pandemic, he was putting pressure on me to visit, complaining that to my sister, telling me that she's been to visit him 4 times. I don't like flying. He knows this, yet he still makes me feel guilty about not visiting. Hmm. My sister and I are very different. She's very independent, flies around the world with her career, and doesn't want to settle down or have children. I'm a married, stay at home mom. My little family is my life. To compare us is silly. He and his wife seem to favor my sister's company. They will choose to stay with her when they visit once a year. Every time before he flies out, I try to get an idea of his schedule to know when I can see him. But he always tells me he'll make contact with me when he's in the country. Guess what? He doesn't until the last minute. It ends up being me and my family traveling hours to where he is staying because if we won't see him. My relationship with my mom wasn't always easy, but I know if she was here, she'd at least care and make more effort. I feel like giving up with my dad. He's so selfish. You should have gave up a long time ago. You know what you're teaching your kids? To grovel and beg for attention. That's what you're teaching your children. Stop this. You know what? You don't call him. He don't call him. Don't ever call him again. Ever. Okay? If he want to talk to you, he can pick up the phone. Phones, they make calls and they receive them. Did you forget that part? Okay, if he wanted to talk to you, he would call you like he calls your sister. He ain't calling you. What does that mean? Just like if you're dating somebody, the man ain't calling you. What does that mean? That means he ain't interested in talking to you. That means you sit your ass down somewhere and do something else. You stop trying to force your kids to grovel for his attention, making him pictures and sending him cards and presents, and he don't ever send them shit. You see what you're teaching your children? To give in a situation where they're getting nothing back. You're teaching your children to be codependent and overgivers with no boundaries and with no expectations of fairness and equity in their relationship. That's what you're teaching your children. Stop this shit right now. I know you want your daddy's love and all this old shit here, but you in your 35 to 40 age group. Heifer, the days for you to get that kind of a love and affection from your daddy have been over. Okay? It's over. He's not going to do it. He's never going to be the man that you want him to be. Get over it. Okay, get therapy if you need to. But the main thing, I'm like other adults and stuff. I don't really care. I mean, I don't want to say I don't really care about you. You're not as important here as the next generation because you and your sister are already whoever you are. So is your daddy. What I want you to do though is sit back and understand how what you're doing and how your father's treating you and how he's treating your children, what that means to them. Okay, and then you rear up, put your mother bear costume on, and you protect your kids. You do not let them be exposed to this kind of stuff. Somebody toying with their emotions like that, they giving them all their love and affection and attention and stuff, and he don't even have the decency to call them on their birthday or send them a fucking postcard or birthday card. Fuck that motherfucker. And that's what I would tell him. I would call him up that one last time and say, oh, I was called to talk to you because I wanted to tell you to kiss my ass and fuck you, and I hope you die. I'm gonna tell you now. I'm blocking your number. I don't want you to call me. Don't you reach out to me. Don't you ever send it. You can even tell people that you only have one daughter. That works too. I'm removing all your pictures, videos, and every other memory I have of you from photo albums. I'm going to burn them in my fireplace. I don't want. I'm gonna tell my kids you died. Now that's how far I'm going with this. You a fucking asshole, and I'm done with you. Yeah, her father doesn't care. He's a straight narc. And she just over here groveling and begging and pleading and crying and doing all this shit to try to get his attention at 40 years old. Stop this. You look like a fool. You somebody's mama. You need to be paying attention to what this message is that you're transmitting to your children about relationships. Make sure that's not their relationship with their father or with you. Okay, that's what you need to be focusing on right the fuck now. And stop this. This is just really disgusting. Not you. I mean, I understand what you're trying to do, but I'm telling you, your father is a disgusting individual. Question number 8, female, 225 out of Atlanta. So a worker at my workplace made me really uncomfortable the first time I met him. I just started a new job after graduating college, and I work in the office while this guy, he's, I don't know, 26 or 27, works on the shop floor. I was asked by my boss to spend a day in the shop and follow this guy around so he can show me some of the things that technicians do. Conversations were friendly at first, so I had no issues, though he was a friendly guy who's married. I have a friend working in the office with me, let's call her S. And she's told me good things about him, like how chill he is and very personable. So this guy and I talk like friends, getting to know each other because he knows I'm friend with S, even though he asked that we follow each other on Insta because they have already added each other there. I didn't mind. I trust my friend's judgment. He even said himself that what he was about to say might be inappropriate because he's married. He brought up how he's always wanted to date someone of my ethnicity. He says this to you in your first days on the job, and this is at work. See, this is why young people they really need some kind of education from going that transition from college to corporate America, corporate Great Britain, corporate England, corporate Ireland, wherever they are. There needs to be some intermediary lessons on what constitutes sexual harassment, bullying in the workplace, all this kind of stuff because they don't know. And so these things keeps happening to them and they don't even know what it is. They can't even identify it, let alone know what to do about it. This is a repetitive pattern. Okay, so let's read on. I was dumbfounded but didn't want to make the situation awkward, so I asked him why and if it's because his ethnicity and mine had similarities. He said that's partly why, but he added it's because the women are so beautiful. Not sure what he wanted me to say to this, so I didn't respond and let the convo switch to a different topic. At some point, he asked me if I had a boyfriend. I said no and laughed with him about strict parents. Ever since that, I'm uncomfortable around him. Fast forward to lunchtime, he tells me he's added me on Insta, told him I'll add him back. I decided to message S about what happened and how he made me uncomfortable. She was shook. She also told me that he had a pregnant wife. I was mad and disgusted. Like, why did he think it was okay to say that to me? Then he shouldn't have said it to you whether he had a wife, a pregnant one, or not. What he said was inappropriate, period. Okay, you want to associate it to him having a pregnant wife? No. I stopped following him around in the afternoon because I had an appointment to get to and other things to do in the office. Once I got home, I accepted his request with the intention of blocking him from my stories. Next day, he sends me a message asking how my appointment went. I haven't replied to him. I just feel really uncomfortable talking to him outside of work. I accepted the request because I thought it would be rude since he has S's Insta too. As much as possible, I don't want to get involved with him outside of work. Am I overthinking this? No. And what you should do is whatever they do on Instagram, unfriend, whatever him from your Insta account and block him. Then when you go to work, you're going to tell him, I gave it some thought and I decided I don't want to be, having, I want to keep my personal life and my work life separate. I don't want to mix the two. So I blocked you on my Instagram and I hope you understand. That's all you have to say. It has to be, he's going to be blind. Oh, come on, come on, come on. No, your work and that's my personal life. I don't want the two mixed. I said that. I mean that. And then that's it. There's no other explanation that you need to give. You don't have to go into all this. You got a pregnant wife and nah. You don't have to do all that. All you have to do is make a definitive statement about what's working for you. That's it. That's all you got to do. Okay. Now, if he want to be friends with S and he talk all day on Insta, he can do that, but not with you because that's your boundary and you have every right to have it. Okay. Now, in the future. Okay, now when he says he always wanted to date someone from your ethnicity, say you're not going to be dating anybody because you're married. Or since you actually, that's right, you didn't know that he was married yet to tell you sex with your friend. Okay, say, well, why do you think why do you think I care about who you were going to date? That's an inappropriate conversation. Let's stick to work-related topics. You see how me do that? You just shut that down. You don't have to engage and try to, quote, be nice and, you don't want to be rude and all this kind of stuff. Be rude to men. Him talking to you like this was rude to you. I don't understand why you don't see that. That was so unprofessional, so over the top, so inappropriate. You were supposed to check his ass. Okay? So you don't do that. You don't go along with that and you don't be nice. Okay, you put them in place and tell them that's foul and I'm not down with that. But yeah, you just tell him you want to keep working and home separate. Any further conversation that he has with you or he's trying to bring up something about your dating life or what he wants and all that stuff, you just shut it down again and say, no, I did not tell you that I don't want to talk to you in that way. That's my personal life. It's none of your business. Your personal life is none of mine. Let's keep it that way. You know what I mean? So your actions and your words have to match. You can't wallow and flip around trying to be nice and be respectful and not be whatever. You're gonna make a statement, and everything that you do after that is going to reflect that original statement you made of keeping your work and your personal life separate. So everything has to be in concert. Everything that you do and everything that you say has to reflect that statement. Okay? None of this back and forth wavering shit that women like to do. Oh, well, okay, maybe just this time. Let's just, all right. Weak. Question number 9. This is a female in the 21 to 25 age group from Silver Spring, Maryland. How do I respond when being asked out by strangers in public? I work in D.C. and have gotten asked out a few times by men who I do not know when I'm out in public alone. I turn them down politely, but honestly, I get nervous too when I do this. They then always try to convince me a few times, claiming that they just want to get to know me, etc. Thankfully, they eventually back off and nothing has happened to me. How does one handle this? And does it make me a paranoid jerk for turning them away? Do you want to be bothered with them or not? Why are you worried about being some label if they're not what you want? You don't worry about what other people think. What is this? You gonna subject yourself to some bullshit because other people might think that you're a paranoid jerk for turning them away? Why do you give a fuck what other people think? You don't want to be bothered with some dusty trying to pick up women on the street, right? Then you don't worry about what other people think about it. This is stupid. And they always want to do that. Well, I just want to get to know you. But I don't want to get to know you. What part of that do you not fucking understand? That's how I talk to him because my brother lives in D.C. and I used to go out there and stay for a month or two. My mother would go and stay for they. She had her own room in his house and everything. That was like her spot, and nobody would, her bed and I mean, he decorated it for her and everything. She would stay out there for 3 or 4 months at a time. But but they just the dusties in DC are just kind of special dust. I don't know. They just like will want to follow you down the street and stuff, looking all like scruffy and dirty, like they need to be hosed down. And then want to be talking about, I just want to try to get to know you. I'm not trying to know you, motherfucker. Get away from me, because all my San Francisco hood rat will come out. It's like, I don't know how DC girls deal with niggas, but I'm just not. No, I'm not interested in you. I don't give a fuck about you and your feelings and what you want to do. What you want is irrelevant to what I wanted, which is not to be bothered with your fucking ass. Now get away from me. Yeah, I know it's stressful, cutie T. I like I said, I spent a lot of time there, and that's when I was younger and much cuter than I am now, and not as fat. And so, they be like, because I'll be going out and I'm going to the gym and working out and stuff and everything. Going on taking my brother's dog for a walk, but that badass dog, that's other stories. Taking his dog for a walk and stuff because he couldn't, and I'm there at the house, so why not? And just the drama. Them Dusties out there are just so special. And I just, didn't want to be bothered with them. So that's what I would do. But no, how do you handle it? You're handling it correctly. You're turning them down. No need to get nervous though. Do you need some kind of personal protection thing, pepper spray or something? If so, get it. And if they get a little jiggy, you just spritz them in the eye with it and go on about your life. Question number 10, female, 26 to 29, Colorado Springs, Colorado. I have been with my man for 3 years. I am almost 30 and he is 32. Last week, on my friend's suggestions, a girl came up that he is friends with. When I looked at her profile, every pic and status was slutty, and she had everything on show, and he had liked her profile pic with her boobs out. She is half his age. He's 32, so that means she's like a teenager? I questioned him about it and told him I felt uncomfortable with him liking that when he had a girlfriend. He started getting defensive, telling me I chat with men at work and I'm a flirt, which I'm not. I turned everything on me, then unfriended me. Hmm. And y'all been together 3 years and that was the best he could do? He got so angry, swearing and hanging up the phone. We argued about this for days. Then he deactivated his profile. When I next looked for hers, her profile was gone too. It's so weird. I told him it's a coincidence that they both came off at the same time, but he swore he doesn't talk to her, so he doesn't know why she came off. Now he's back on there and he's hitting his friends list, so I'm still unfriended. I can't trust him. I've had issues with him in the past with a woman, and he's never gained my trust back, and it's just every little thing now I question. Have I overreacted to this? Ladies of the squad, how would you feel if your man did this? You stupid. You almost 30 and you still stupid. Okay, you had issues with him before with a woman and you still stayed. He disrespected you or whatever he was doing, lying, cheating, whatever. Whatever it is, it wasn't good and it's not a good solid basis for a relationship. Yet you stayed. And you say you never trusted him since then, right? Isn't that what you said? I've had issues with him in the past, and he's never gained my trust back. You don't stay with a man that you don't trust. I don't know. This is so basic for women. You don't trust him. You can't love anybody that you don't trust. What you have is some kind of codependent, weird fixation and fantasy about a relationship that doesn't exist in reality. This man is cheating, lying, corner cutting, and interacting with 18-year-old girls online. They're kids, and he's 32. That's disgusting. Disgusting and disgraceful. So, he got upset and he started swearing and stuff. You should have joined in on that party. By the time you started talking to him about it, you should have been calling him every kind of pervert motherfucker that there is that you could think of. You old ass motherfucker messing around with teenage girls, you freaky weirdo punk bitch, but whatever you want to call him, because he's all of those things. and you are dealing, you've been, the main thing you land with is, I've been with my man for 3 years. That means something to you. That's important to you, that how much time has passed. But you know what? Since you had the day that you had that revelation about him dealing with some woman in the past, or whenever that happened in your relationship, that was the day your relationship with him ended. Everything else after that, you just wasting your time. So I suggest you block him. You can look at what they're saying in the chat room, because you asked, ladies of the squad, how would you feel if your man did that? They're going to answer you. So listen to what I'm saying, and then go and look at the chat stream and look at their responses to your question and your plea for their input. They're typing away. The screen's moving fast, so they have a lot to say. Go on over there and you read that as well, okay? And I think you'll see the consensus is, dude ain't about shit, and you wasting your time. You are 30 years old. Okay, don't waste another day with this. Get out there and find your Mr. Right. Question 11. This is a young man in the 26 to 29 age group from Fremont, California. To marry or not to marry? That is the question. Oh, it's a little Shakespearean here. My girlfriend is 31 and I'm 29. Oh, so she's 2 years older. And we are not on the same page about getting married. I would have waited until I'm financially and personally settled. She, on the other hand, is ready after just 5 months of dating. I need advice on how to find common ground. I love my woman. We're both serious about each other and see things in the long run and firmly believe in monogamy. While my parent, a single mom, is chill, her parents are traditionally conservative Indian parents and keep pestering her to get married. Last, when I visited her place, which is not that often, her conservative parents mean less freedom. While we were at the dinner table with her parents and sister, I was randomly asked, "What have you thought about your future together?" To which I sheepishly replied, "Well, let's see how things go. We're still trying to figure it out." Totally not expecting something like that with all eyes on me. Frankly, though it was true, I'm emotionally not in a place to commit to even considering if we should get married. It's too soon. Downside of divorce between my parents, I'm not in any rush to sign those papers. I'd rather take my time and allow our relationship to mature, live in together, grow our shared responsibilities to a point until we are practically married, and then turn it into legally married. And also, 5 months seems like too little time. Personally, I like to wait 2 years until I can financially sustain both of our lives and aspirations. While she agreed that marriage is a paper formality and that she has done a living with her ex, she doesn't want to fight that battle with her parents now. She said she wants to live together, and the only way to make that happen is if we got married, for which she is keenly ready. I told her we're reading the same book, but she's just a few chapters ahead. I'm not ready for marriage this soon, so I asked her if she was acting out of pressure. She exploded and accused me of validating her feelings and saying that what I was doing and that I was doing that at a time when she told me she was ready while I was not. Okay, that's rather abrupt ending. But, sir, you see that she wants something that you're not ready for. If you stay in this relationship, it's going to just be more of the same. You aren't ready. You already said that. She is ready. You two are. With all the stuff you wrote here, you say you in the same book, but she's a few chapters ahead. I don't even see you in the same book because you referencing your parents' divorce and all this old stuff, whereas her parents are still married, so she doesn't even have that angst that you have. She's ready. She's 31. Okay, you're only 29. So what you are supposed to do is break off this, tell her that you can't be that man for a few years, probably 4 or 5 years is your timeline. And you know that she wants to get married and start her family. So you gotta, free her like Free Willy, and you just let her do her thing. And tell her it was very nice knowing her, and you wish her the best, and you go on with your life. You can't give her what if you give her what she wants, you're gonna feel pressured and suffering and like angry and all kind of stuff, and you not giving her what she wants is causing her to have those same feelings. You two are not in the same book, nor are you in the same chapter, same page, nothing. Okay, so it's just let this go. She'll find somebody. It's a lot of I mean, it's in the cultural thing. They get married. So, she just needs to find a guy who's about 33, 4, 5. It's not someone younger, someone older. and he'll be happy to get married to her. Probably 5 months will be, plenty of time for him. Question number 12. This is a female in the 50 to 55 age group out of the UK. My son, who is grown up, still lives with me as his father had about 17 mini strokes and 2 heart attacks. Oh my God, what was dude doing? He is good as cares for his father, but he's prone to anger issues. He loves soccer from the 1980s because of how the game was played at the time. He also loves the FIFA game series on PlayStation, FIFA, I don't know what that is. He then had an idea to design a game in the 1980s and did an excellent job in finding kits, squads, stadiums, trophies, and competition formats. He worked harder than I had ever seen and worked on it for nearly a year. And he contacted EA Sports to present his idea to him. They asked him to send all his work and they praised him for how hard he had worked and his deep knowledge of the game. Then, unfortunately, they turned his idea down and he was so devastated by the failure, he threw his phone at the wall so hard it smashed to pieces. I told him he should be very proud of himself for the effort and the hard work he dedicated to the project. But he said he knows he worked harder than ever before and he put so much effort in it and said he failed, so it was all for nothing. Your son is stupid. When he was in college, just after secondary school, he was in a competition where he had to write a story. There were 35 students from 3 classes, and he got to second place and received a silver trophy. When it was announced he had finished second, the teacher said he looked like hell. The girl who won first place wanted to shake his hand, and he rejected her. He never returned for the presentation. Instead, he went to a pub and drank himself stupid. The next day, the college professor went to his other class to give him the trophy, and he said he didn't want it because second place wasn't an option. She tried telling him that he should be proud of how hard he worked, but the same thing he said was all for nothing. She sent the trophy to our house, and he smashed it up with a hammer and threw the pieces into the bin. I know nobody likes failing, but I wish he would react better to it than he does. He also has mental health issues like anxiety and depression. You think? Autism, amongst other things. He refuses to talk about it. He won't see a counselor. And I've spoken to some of my friends who I trust, but they have spoken to him saying if he needs to talk, they're here for him. He then exploded at them and me for talking about him behind his back. He doesn't have any friends at all. He's given up on dating because he's been cheated on 3 times and he just keeps to himself. He was bullied all through school from age 4 to 16 and it's made him hate people. Well, lady, let's just put it this way. When your son was a minor and you saw these signs of these things, you were responsible for getting him some help and you didn't do it. He needed some mental health counseling at that time because his reactions to all of these normal stresses in life and disappointments, he's not handling them well. Sure, you saw this when he was still a kid, when you still had the power to take him to the doctor, whereas now he's an adult and he can decide that he doesn't want to go. You missed the golden opportunity to fix your son. It's too late now. He's fucked up for life. He's never going to have any friends and he's never going to have a girlfriend because no woman is going to want to deal with this shit. Just like he gets violent because he didn't get what he wanted, which was first place and the game and some like EA is the only game company in this world. There's hundreds of them. They're not as big as EA, but he could have sent his game to others and he probably would have got success. But he only sent it to one and so then he destroyed everything because of that. Your son is stupid. Okay, he has no perseverance at all, no resilience at all. These are all character traits that one needs as a mature adult to function well in the world. Your son doesn't have those skills. So that means he's going to be living with you and living off of you until you die. And then what are you going to do? Because nobody's going to want to be bothered with him. Yeah, I mean, that's not normal for somebody to be throwing shit and smashing up trophies and rejecting people's handshakes and stuff. You were supposed to jump on his ass right then when the girl tried to shake. You found that out. You were supposed to sit him down and read him the riot act. Don't you ever do no shit like that again, showing yourself to be a poor sport. What kind of person is gonna be bothered with you when you can't even tolerate a loss? You get in a game, you understand that comes with the possibility that you might lose. But it's not about that. It's about how you played the game. Did you play with your best? Okay, well maybe your best wasn't good enough. Let's get you a coach. Let's see what you do next year with more practice. Okay? Your best was good, but it wasn't good enough. And that's a reality check that a lot of kids these days are not getting because their parents coddled them. too much and try to soften the blows and give them participation trophies and all that kind of stuff. So the kids never understand failure. They never have to deal with it. They never get to test their resilience. They never get to deal with frustration. So then they become adult males and they go out in the world and they see a woman is a 12, right? And here he is, a little dumpy, half balding, glasses wearing, mouth breathing 4, if that. And he's like, I want her. And then he tries to talk to her, and she looks at him like he's a roach under her shoe. And then he gets mad because these bitches don't want a good man. Yeah, that's what he said. Second place doesn't count. He got a silver trophy. He didn't want it. I would have beat my kid's ass. Say, you silver trophy this. So he hates people. See, this is your son is headed towards a mass murderer. That's what he's going because he can't stand not getting what he wants. And you did that. You did that. You and your husband did that. This is the monster you raised. That you did not intervene when you had an opportunity and get this boy some help. So this is a problem you're gonna have to deal with. Luckily he's up way over there. Where are you at? You in the UK. I won't ever have to be bothered with him. Question number 13. This is a female in the 30 to 35 age group, also from the UK. It's been 2.5 years since I left my abusive husband. My daughter was almost 3 and she had no contact with her dad since she was 3.5 and she's 5 now. She is not behaving great today, to be honest. She very rarely does anything she is asked. She is told not to get more toys out and her reply was, I'll do what I want. A few moments later in the car, she just came out and said, I'm being rude to you like Daddy was because I love Daddy and not you. It hurt a lot. I had no choice but to leave and stop contact, which he still hasn't been given advice. He still hasn't been given by CAF's CAFCAS, Children and Family Court Advisory Support Service. Okay, I guess that's some like kitty court, family court thing in the UK. I get the impression, although I'm sure she doesn't, that she just doesn't like me. I'm sure it sure feels that way. I think she must blame me for taking her daddy away. I tried to explain to her that daddy was not kind, but she just says she loves him more and not me. This is hard. What should I do? First of all, she's 5 years old. You know what? Okay, let me tell you how I would handle my daughter if she had done some bullshit like this. Okay. She rarely does anything she is asked. I would beat her little ass. She was told not to get more toys out, and her reply was, I'll do what I want. Okay, I said, my reply is, okay, I'm going to do what I want, which is, I've told you not to get any more toys out. So now every toy that you get out, I'm going to throw it in the garbage can. It's going to go outside in the dumpster, or I'm going to give it away to some other kid that knows how to treat their toys better and mind their mother. Which one do you prefer? Do I throw them away or do I give them away? Which one do you want? Because every single toy that you pull out after I tell you not to get any more toys out, that's what's happening to them. They're leaving the house. Okay, see, then people get like, oh, she would probably start screaming, no, mommy, no. And then you start gathering her shit up, putting it in a hefty bag. I love hefty bags. Notice how many times I mentioned hefty bags? Hefty bags needs to sponsor my show because I have so many uses for hefty bags. But that's what would happen. Well, she's being a brat, you know. She's being a brat. But see, that's how I do. I come down with the hammer. You want to act like you don't understand what no means? Let me show you how that works. Won't have no toys to pull out if you fuck with me. Okay, so when I tell you don't pull no toys out, you're gonna have 1 or 2 toys, and you're gonna be happy to put them little bitch toys back because they're the only ones you got. See how my mind works? I have spoken. And what I say goes because I'm the one paying all the bills up in this motherfucker. You 5, you ain't doing shit except getting on my nerves. Sit your little ass down and do what you told. So then, she says, I'm being rude to you like Daddy because I love Daddy and not you. Okay, so then that's when you stop the car and you pull her over and you snatch her out the car. You get in her face like her face is right here. And you say, don't you ever talk to me like that again as long as you live. I'm the one who's here taking care of you. That motherfucker left you. I don't know why you trying to act like you love him so much. What did he do for you so great? See, kids, people I think want to treat kids like they're so delicate and all this stuff. When they start mouthing off like this, it shows they understand concepts. Now she's referencing prior behavior from her father. This little girl's smart. So when you have kids that understand what's going on, you talk to them like they understand what's going on, and you just give a reality check. It's like, okay, so what did he do so great for you that you love him so much? Does he call you all the time? Does he give you money? What does he do for you exactly? You haven't seen him in all these years. You know why you haven't seen him? Because he doesn't want to see you. Okay, so you loving somebody who doesn't even want to see you. I'm not saying you can't love him, but I'm telling you one thing you're not going to do is disrespect me by telling me some bullshit like that ever again. I'll smack your little ass to the moon. Stuff like that. I don't coddle kids. Especially, I mean, you act polite and you cry or whatever, that's one thing. You a little kid and you act like a little kid. I'll treat you like one. But you gonna be coming at me like a mouthy ass teenager and you 5 years old, I'ma check your little bitch ass and I don't give a fuck if you are five. Because you want to talk to me like you a grown woman, I'ma talk to you like you one. And let's see how that works out for you. I'm gonna have her little ass in check. And you going all that, she doesn't like me. She likes you. She just being a brat. And you letting her get away with it. You need to rear up on her little ass and put her in check. Your daddy's not kind. Who uses words like that? Say your daddy's a motherfucking asshole. He don't give a shit about you or me. Okay, that's why he left. Do you not understand that? I know that's hurtful to you, but that's the reality and you need to start adjusting to it. And don't you ever say any shit like that to me as long as you live. And I'm sitting over here. You know, this is like ridiculous. Let's move on to question number 14. That kind of shit makes me mad when you see these weak ass mothers having your kids, a 5-year-old, running over you. By the time she turns 12, she gonna be running your house and beating your ass and taking your money and everything else. Yeah, I don't care if you 5. I don't care if you 3. You rear up on me like this, like you are a grown woman. I'm going to talk to you like I would talk to any bitch on the street. That is disrespectful and is mean, is cruel, and is vile. And I don't know where she's learning this kind of way to talk to her mother, talking about because that's what daddy does. Your daddy's a fucking asshole. And I couldn't beat his ass, but I could beat yours. You gonna like that? This is crazy. Oh, female, 26 to 29, from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I feel like this can be a problem very often faced by women. My husband's 35 and I'm 26, and we've been married for just over a year. We are both incredibly happy, but there's just one big thing that keeps bubbling up for me lately. I've sort of become the project manager of our lives. Deb, it's not always that I do all the work, but I plan and delegate everything. It's extremely emotionally and mentally taxing. Oh, you doing that what was that video I made? Emotional labor. That's what you're doing. I pretty much do all of the cooking, cleaning, or at the very least I have to plan, prep, and delegate it. For example, I do all the meal planning around both of our schedules and his dietary needs, the grocery list building, the shopping on the app, and scheduling the time when we pick up our groceries. I manage our appointments, finances, and travel plans to visit his family too. Apartment hunting process, dental cleanings, etc. If I don't explicitly ask him to do something, if I don't do it myself, it doesn't get done. When I do ask him to do something, he's happy to do it. He never complains or procrastinates or acts like it's an inconvenience. But it's like it just doesn't occur to him to schedule his license renewal appointment, even though I've been complaining about having to drive everywhere. He is also very grateful of everything I do, so it's not necessarily that I feel completely taken for granted. But I just don't think he understands how much work goes into things. I'm not sure why he isn't stepping up. Why should he step up? Because you do it. I'll get into this in a minute. I've tried to explain the concept of emotional labor. Oh, okay, there you go. And asked him to proactively try to take things off my plate. But it always ends up with him asking something like, well, how can I help? Or what should I cook for dinner? Or is this cleaning product safe for the countertops? Or what would you like me to do? Again, if I don't explicitly tell him what to do or answer his question, it doesn't happen. When I'm busy with school or work, we eat takeout and never have clean underwear. None of this feels malicious or overly manipulative, but it does feel a little insane that I'm telling a 37-year-old man that is an all purpose cleaner can be used on the countertops or that he needs to locate his social security card. Like you're an adult, just figure it out. I'm exhausted. I once tried to have this conversation with no, I tried to have this conversation with him many times. I did so once again tonight in the car ride home. His response is always, "I'm so sorry. I will try to do better." We get home 20 minutes later and he sees me struggling to put away laundry and he asks, "Can I help with something?" I swear to God, I almost asked for a divorce right then and there. I'm not really sure where to go from here. He wants to have kids, and I did, but I have no desire to be a single parent in a marriage. Besides, it's hard to feel attracted to a man I basically have to take care of like I'm his mother. Is this normal? How do I get him to understand? How do I get him to actually step up? You stop doing things. That's how you do it. So, you want to do laundry, you wash your laundry and not his. You cook for yourself, not for him. He has special dietary needs. He needs to take care of that like a big boy. He's some travel plans to visit his family. You don't do that. They need presents and birthdays and Christmas and stuff. You don't do that. He does it. He needs to get did some dental work done or something. If your teeth rot out of your head and fall out on the floor, that's just going to be you because I'm going to have all my teeth. You see what I mean? You're stepping up doing all the stuff. That's why he's not doing it because he doesn't have to. Because if he just sits around or half-ass does it or doesn't do it at all, then you'll step up and do it. And he knows that. That's how most men are. And so they don't do anything. It's a strategy that they use. If I do it stupid, too slow, or in a fucked up way, then she's going to, take over and do it herself because she wants it done special. So they work this out to get him out of doing stuff. That's why you don't play that game with him. You know, you got to plan and delegate stuff. You do all the cooking and cleaning. One thing you could do, just to not have to delegate and stuff, write down a list of all the chores in the house. Clean bathroom, clean, do dishes, mop floors, vacuum, do windows, dust. I don't know, grocery shopping, put away the food, cooking every night, making lunches. I mean, whatever. I mean, just make a list. And then you give it to him. And you say, I want you to write your name down to half of the stuff that you're going to take over doing every week. And then you let him do it. Say, and there's 40 things on this list. You're going to write your name next to 20 of them. Give me the list back when you're done. And then do it that way. Okay, then you tape it up on the wall and he can see this is what I need to do. And then if he doesn't do it, then divorce him. Because one thing you do, you're right. You do not want to have children by somebody who acts like this. Because you're going to be dead from exhaustion. You're going to be so evil from being, feeling resentful of him. And men, I think, don't really understand it. Stuff like this that will kill a marriage. And they're like, but, I love her so much, but you didn't treat her like you love her. You didn't treat her with respect. You just treated her like she was your mother or some kind of maid or something. And she's not having it. And they can't, so they be online on these groups and stuff. She took all my money and she left me and and I'm a good man. But it's stuff like this. You guys drive your women away. You just act like you don't give a fuck and you make her feel crazy and burdened and like everything is her responsibility while you just relaxing and chilling. When is dinner going to be ready, honey? Stuff like that. And you don't do anything. So that's why a lot of men get divorced and they don't even understand why. I hope I just explained it. Yeah, girl, not only the heavy lifting, the light lifting, the intermittent lifting, the featherweight lifting, she'll be doing everything, especially when it comes to the kids because he's going to be like waiting for instructions again like he's 2. Question number 16. This is a female in the 21 to 25 age group from Des Moines, Iowa. My boyfriend of 1 year is 25. I'm 23. He has always displayed serious signs of instability throughout the time. Example, breaking it on and off, getting extremely depressed and suicidal out of the blue, snippy remarks which he brushed off. In the beginning, he was love bombing me, asking for attention constantly. I gave him a second chance because I really liked the guy and I saw potential. I recently found out there's been cases of him on private sessions with cam girls. He was extremely hurt, crying, trying to win me back anyhow. He realized a lot of things he's done wrong. I thought we had progress until a week ago. Okay, here we go. I was gone to the toilet for 10 minutes, and meanwhile, he went into a totally depressed, angry state of mind. We had the worst night. The next day, we talked things through, but the more I tried to get to understand him, the more he was being, I found, rude to me, which made it difficult to converse. I explained to him his moods have been affecting me deeply and that I also need time and care after the thing I found out. He ended up saying the rudest things possible and playing out the worst scenario of being abusive. He hit his head in the door. He was acting nervous and shaking, making suicidal comments. He said things which he knew would hurt me, and I have no idea why he decided to say them exactly at those moments. Like things he thinks I have done wrong are not enough. Since I was sure he would go back to his old state of mind as he usually does after acting out on a crazy episode, but he still hasn't come out of it. He deleted his Facebook and Instagram because of a fight we had, which made me feel so bad. He keeps saying sad stuff all the time, and it's literally impossible to talk to him while he's being so negative. I just need advice. It's like I see the world in rose colored glasses, and it's so hard to take them off. I just want to see him happy, confident, and positive. It's never going to happen. Okay? You want to insist that this fantasy you have in your head of this man being normal is going to happen. It's not going to. You're going to stay here until he starts doing violent things with you. That's what's going to happen. And then you're going to finally wake up when you have two black eyes and a broken jaw. Then you'll be like, oh no. Oh, I saw so much potential. And then in the end, all you see is flying fists. Girl, if you don't leave this fool alone, okay, this is my thing. You people be like, well, people can't help that they have mental illness and they get depressed and all this old stuff. And that might be true, suicidal and all. So I'm not saying that's not. But what I'm saying is that I have opted in my life not to be bothered with it. So you can certainly feel like being depressed. You can do whatever you want to, slice yourself up, shoot yourself, whatever you want to do, whatever makes you feel good, go over there and you just have at it. But don't expect me to watch. Don't expect me to be there. Don't expect me to hold your hand. Don't expect me to give a fuck. I'm not going to waste my time. I don't do fucked up people. I'm telling you. Don't even call the police. Just leave him. Leave him there. Shit, he got parents. It's not your responsibility to be calling the police and all that stuff on his ass. Get out. Leave him alone. Look how he's talking to you and treating you, and you still there. Don't worry about calling nobody. You get your shit and get the fuck away from him. That's what you do. I mean, if he's hitting his head on the door and all this kind of stuff, can you imagine somebody pound, 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 they busting their head on the door? Nah. I'll see you later, crazo. He's worse than bipolar. He's a psycho. Something schizophrenic or something. Who knows? He's got some. This is more serious than just being bipolar. Dude is just, he's like trying to hurt himself and hurt her with words and making, doing stuff that he knows is going to scare her. That's psychopathic. Question number 17, female, 225 out of Charleston, South Carolina. My boyfriend and I, we're both 21, have been together for going on 3 years. God, these people start dating so young and stay together for so long. His breath never stank. His breath never stank until recently, that is. He didn't do anything different and has been following proper hygiene. However, I'm not sure why his breath is starting to stink. I, I do not know how to tell him as he's quite so conscious with himself. I often offers him water as it helps temporarily. How to politely tell my man his breath stinks? Are there tips to help him with his breath? Yes, it's called seeing a dentist. It's most likely he got a bad tooth if this all started all of a sudden. The decay, rotten decay in your mouth. Of course, it could be something else, tonsillitis, a sinus infection. That'll make you have bad breath too. I don't know, but he should definitely investigate some medical treatment and see if there's an organic cause for it, some kind of infection, like I said, or a cavity. Those are two of the things. Now, if it's not either of those things, then that means it's something that he is it's something that he's eating that maybe he wasn't eating before. Most likely what he's eating is dicks, because that'll make you have some real fucked up breath. Yep. Dicks with a serving of booty on the side. There you go. See, Red Herring and I, we on that same page. Well, I'm just saying, she said it's happened all of a sudden and he's not doing anything different, Diana. So I doubt that it's the dental hygiene thing. I think it's something he's adding to his life that she doesn't know about. Oh, you a Leo too? Okay, yeah. See, yes, I did say that, Black Phoenix. He's eating dicks with a side of booty. That will make your breath real funky. So I really kind of like, but start with that. Recommended he go to a dentist. You're gonna have to tell him, like, dude, your breath is kind of humming lately. What's going on? I think you need to go to the doctor or the dentist. Just get you to the dentist so they can see if you have any cavities, because usually that's what that is. Yeah. Yeah. Usually it is the teeth. But like I said, it could be a tonsil problem. It could be sinus problem, because all that makes you have foul breath too. Um, yeah, a gum infection. I mean, it could be other things. I mean, the dentist will give him antibiotics, but he can also get that from his doctor. Oh, I'm just saying. Then if it ain't none of them things and you say his diet and everything else is the same, then you need to wonder what dude is doing in the time when he ain't around you. And I would start looking at his friends and trying to see, who looks like they got a little sugar in their tank and how much time is he spending with this individual. Yeah, like I said, love is good, what he's eating. That would be that. But that's where I would start, girlfriend. That's where I would start. Let's move on to question number 18. She's 21 to 25 out of Madison, Wisconsin. I got into a casual affair with a guy called, quote, Kev. It started by him suggesting we just have a fling since I wasn't interested in a committed relationship. We had eggplant and hung out with friends. It was okay. In fact, there were never dates, gifts, romantic texting, or much conversation. One day he introduced me as his girlfriend to one of his friends. I confronted him about it. He said that he thought that I was his girlfriend. In fact, one of his friends called me his wife. I later realized that he had told his friends, family, and acquaintances that I was his girlfriend. Overwhelmed by the realization of an FWB taking me to be his girlfriend without my consent, I ended things immediately. But that's when things took a turn for the worse. He would call and text constantly. He would force himself into my house. At one point, I had to hold onto a knife. At another point, he bribed the caretaker to be allowed into the apartment. I decided to move to another apartment, but he hunted me down. He made it clear that only death would separate us. The stalking and emotional abuse affected me, so I sought police intervention and he backed off. However, whenever we meet on the road, he approaches me and tells me how much he misses me, but asks him to back off, I will call the police. We share the same circle of friends. Kev is also a part of that circle. I have not hung out with them for a while because of this issue with him. I talked to them on the phone, but they have reached out and told me how much they miss me. They invited me for a hangout. We had so much fun. On the last hangout, one concerned friend told me that Kev was all over me. Also, the same friend said something I had only told Kev. On imploring, I realized that Kev had sent screenshots of our private conversations more than once. All of a sudden, I was mad at Kev. I want to confront him for sharing private details with friends. I didn't even think that I could stay in his sight during the next hangout. I reconnected with my friends because I missed them. They believe that Kev acted that way out of love. I'm wondering if I should cut off my friends too. Or should I keep them but avoid Kev when hanging out? On one side, there's this guy that made my life a living hell after rejection to the point where I had to seek police protection. On the other side, there's this fun group of friends. I don't make friends easily. I've cut off friends before for various reasons. Hmm. It's never easy to cut off friends that you share life with. I've written a lot, but I want to put everything on the table so you give me your opinion on my situation. Thanks in advance. You're going to cut them friends. You act like these are the only people in the world that you could be friends with. I don't make friends easily. So all you need is one. Okay, you don't need no whole gang of people. Your ass is in your mid 20s now. That having a gang of people to roll the streets with and stuff is great when you're a teenager. You get in your 20s and on into your 30s, you only need one friend, maybe two. You don't need no whole gang of people all around all the time. So, you being friends with these people is putting you at risk because he wants to be part of that circle. He knows his way to get to you. Also, they don't seem to understand the risk here and how dangerous this guy was, forcing his way into your house. They're saying, "Oh, well, he's doing it out of love." So, see, to them, this is a nothing thing to take seriously. You're overreacting and all that. So they're not your support system. No matter how much you might want to think that they are, there's a good time friends. They don't have any kind of real understanding about stalking and this kind of abusive behavior at all. My suggestion is that you change your phone number. Get you a Google phone number. Have that number refer to the Google number for people to call and leave you a message there. You get a different number for your cell phone from a completely different carrier. Okay, so in case somebody has a friend that works at that place that can get your number, then they won't have it. They won't know who your service is provided by. Then you're going to get new friends. Wherever you used to go with them, you're never going there again. You're going to find new spots that are probably better on the other side of town. That's what you're going to do. And start making new friends that have different interests, that are probably a little older, and that understand this kind of angst in a relationship. This is terrible. It's not easy to cut off friends that you share life with. You didn't see them for all that time. You ain't sharing no life. You romanticizing this and doing too much. Question 19, female 18 to 21 from Memphis. So this guy I'm seeing started seeing someone else too. He says he likes us both. How old are you? 18. Oh, no wonder you were a kid. He is in a dilemma. But should I show that I still care for him so that he'll choose me? Or should I just give him a cold shoulder and treat him as a friend? No, you're not going to give him a cold shoulder or anything else. I mean, you're seeing him, but what does that mean? You dating him? Are you sleeping with him? Is that what seeing means? So that he's seeing someone else like that too, and he got both of you on the hook? If that's not what you want, then you leave him alone. You don't have to accept it. It's not like he's the only dick in Memphis. I mean, really? You young girls kill me with this acting like it's either this or nothing. There's a whole bunch of knuckleheads you could be dating in Memphis. It's just like zillions of them, just everywhere. All different races. All of them stupid. So you got one stupid one, just it's no big deal. Just go get you a different one. You're only 18, it's not like you're going to be marrying him and stuff anyway. So just, you out there having a good time. Should you show that you still care for him? No. You should show that you care for yourself. He likes us both? Well, that's too bad. Just say, well, that's nice, but what you want from me? I don't like you that much. I'm going to go like somebody else who wants to be liking just me. Because what you're offering is some bullshit, and I'm not trying to be bothered. And yeah, don't even treat him as a friend. Just get him, get him out of your world. You acting like I said, you acting like this is the only dick in Memphis that you could get. And you just have to settle on one of these options or another. Either be with him or just have him as a friend and give him the cold shoulder. You don't have to do either one of those. You could just ignore him completely, block him on your phone, and go on with your life. Okay? At least he was honest enough to tell you that he's dealing with two women. But if you don't want to do that, then leave him alone. Let's move on. Question 20. We got 25 questions, so we're nearing the end finally. Woo! She's in the 30 to 35 age group. Another one out of the UK. Wow. I could really do with some advice, please, Deb. I have two best friends who I went to school with. One I've been friends with since we were 4, and we're 36 now. We've been like sisters all our lives. I'm getting married in September, and these two are my adult bridesmaids, but I'd like to sort this event even without the wedding. Since the pandemic, she's been anti-lockdown, anti-mask, etc. And I've just tried to not get into it with her as I respect her opinions, but I'd rather just do what we have to do and get back to normal. She then joined Twitter and started sending me loads of videos and things about conspiracy theories. And I tried to humor her with them, but quite honestly, I don't know what to think. Even as recent as the last couple of months, she seemed excited about my wedding. There was one evening, though, where she just turned and started ranting at me And since then, she won't speak to me. If I ask her if she's okay, she says the whole world has gone mad. Nope, she has, though. She said it's because people like me that this lockdown has continued. I tried talking in our group chat about getting my dress and the bridesmaid dresses, and she sent this sarcastic message about not socializing yet, as the risk of death to her mom is 1 in 10,000. Yet the other week she wanted to go to the lockdown protest march. I actually did text her today, asked if she wanted to meet, as my daughter would like to see hers. She sent me a really awful message saying that she's pissed off with everyone who has followed the lockdown, doesn't want to see anyone, doesn't know when she wants to see me again, and isn't having the vaccine. So I will have to factor that into my precious wedding plans. Wow. I think I feel better that she has now blocked me, so it feels like closure, but I honestly don't know what I've done. I really don't know what to do anymore, and I'm really worried about her. Our other friend has noticed something isn't right, but she hasn't been as bad with her, so it's like she's taking it out on me. It's caused me so much stress and worry. I've not even strictly followed the lockdown, really, just done what I had to do as my mom has heart failure, and if I have to see her, I didn't want to put her at risk. It's not me, is it? Nope, the bitch is crazy as a Betsy bug. And she blocked you, so just make sure that you communicate to her some kind of way. Even if you send her a letter to her house that she's out of your wedding and that you won't be bothering her again. And then you just leave her alone. Leave her alone. I don't know what she's doing because I've noticed that this COVID, the shut-in thing, and the stress of watching people die, and the things like here in New York, they had like bodies stored in trucks. They didn't even send them to the burial. People's bodies was rotting in trucks in downtown, Manhattan. It was just the most grossest thing you've ever seen in your life. It was like a horror movie. And all these people dying and people accusing hospitals of giving them COVID and false tests so they could get money from the government. I mean, there's all kind of stuff going on. Some nurses have done some exposés. So people want to say, well, it's a conspiracy theory, but these are people who actually work in the thing, and they're saying this is what happens. This is where they work. I'm not going to argue with them because they on the front lines. I'm not doing it. So, but I just take all of that into consideration. And, there probably is somewhat of a conspiracy aspect to this, but can we prove it? No. So, therefore, why would you worry about it? Or you get yourself in a mental breakdown state worrying about it. So, what I'm going to tell you is that you need to take your focus off of her and focus on yourself, focus on your wedding, focus on the people who are going to be there for you for the wedding, and focus on your future. That is a grown woman. There's nothing you can do for her. Okay? You ain't a shrink. You ain't a doctor. You ain't a politician. There's nothing about what your status in life that can do anything to change what she's doing. So you let her do her thing. Okay? You ain't trying to stop her. That chick is wacko. So, but she's blocking you, not talking to you. That's a good thing. You should be happy. Let's move on to question number 21. This is a female in the 26 to 29 age group from San Jose, California. Over the last month or so, I have been really trying to put myself out there. I'm 26. I've started conversation with regulars at the gym, online dating, etc. Since I have been single for the past year or so, I would really like to find someone to connect with. The big problem is I keep running into that I don't really have much to bring to the table right now, and it's killing my confidence. Over the past year, I quit my job due to a toxic work environment and moved back into my mom's house so I could afford to go back to school and finally get my undergrad degree. I work at a part-time retail job until I graduate. It's pretty ridiculous trying to look for someone who has their life together when I'm a 26-year-old who works at the mall and lives with her mom. I had a pretty small circle of friends before the pandemic, but then things got bad. Most of my friends moved away to more economical areas of the country, so I spend most of my free time alone. Just not sure if I should stop focusing on dating for the next year or if my problems are not as bad as I'm thinking they are. Uh, I'm going to say this. You got a lot going on for yourself that you need to be focusing on. One thing you do not need is the distraction of some nigga. Okay, let me just be blunt. Because that's all it's going to be. You're going to be sitting around here worrying about what he's doing, where he is, when you're going to see him, if he loves you, and all this old crazy shit that women like to focus on instead of themselves. What you need to do, I mean, it's fine that you want to get out and, hang out with the girls or something like that. I'm not saying that in itself is bad. But you looking for a man? No. This is not the time. You're not gonna feel worthy. You're not gonna feel like you already said it, like you have much to bring to the table. That means you would be one of them pink Misha types feeling grateful that somebody paid you some attention. That's not how you go into a relationship. Feeling like you don't measure up and that you know whatever man pays attention to you, that's the best you can do because you don't have, you work in retail and you live with your mother. You see what I'm going with this? When you're in a relationship with a man, you have to come with your best self so that you feel confident and powerful and strong, in charge. You can set boundaries and you can make him adhere to them. You can tell him what you want and you know that you deserve it. You don't have any of that kind of stuff. Is none of that's communicated in what you wrote. That means to me that you're not ready for dating. To me, what you should be concentrating on is taking as many classes as you can to get out and get your degree and get yourself a better job and get yourself your own place away from your mother. Then you can start dating. Okay? Because right now you not. Oh, thank you, DJ. And somebody else don't donate it. Okay. Well, thank you for the super chats. I haven't really been paying attention to tell you the truth. Um, yeah, you really, you're not feeling confident about yourself, and you can't go into dating with that mindset, that needy, weak, something's wrong with me, I'm lacking, I don't measure up. You can't do that to yourself. So you concentrate on school and you concentrate on what you're going to do after school. What kind of work are you going to get? Where are you going to be trying to work? Start researching companies and stuff like that when you get closer to graduation and see where it is down there that you want to work. Because right now, that's to be getting involved with some dude in your low self-esteem, mindset would be the worst possible move that you could make. Let's move on to question number 22. This is a young man in the 21 to 25 age group out of Austin, Texas. Hey, ladies. So I'm a young guy, 25 years old, without a whole lot of experience with women. I spent most of my young life hitting the books. I just finished my master's and considering going for my doctorate. Oh, look at you. Well, there's this coffee shop in town I go to a couple of times a week to study and work. This one barista has given me a free refill on my coffee the last two times I've seen her there, and I can't tell if she's kind of flirting with me or just being nice. She's also waved goodbye to me the last two times as well. She's the only barista that's given me a free refill. For context, a refill only costs $1, so it's not like it's a crazy amount of money. And I never just drink one cup when I go. I'm not great at picking up on stuff like this. Do you think I'm crazy, or are those signs that she could be interested in me? What should I do next, if anything? Dude, you don't have no Mac. Okay, but you did say that. Okay, you've been schooling yourself all the time. Okay, this is what you gonna do. This is what you gonna do. Make sure you look cute on this particular day. Whatever look cute means to you, make sure that that's what you do. Okay, you're gonna be clean. You're gonna be neat. You're gonna, your teeth is brushed. Your breath is fresh. Your shoes is not dirty or creeled over. You look presentable. And you gonna roll up in there and you're gonna get your coffee. Okay, so then when it comes time to get your refill, you're gonna say, well, instead of a refill, can I get your number? And she gonna be like, oh my God, I thought you. Well, she gonna be thinking anyway. I thought this stupid dummy would never ask. Just that's how smooth it is. Just how easy, And you got it built in already because she giving you refills. She giving you all kind of play. She ain't giving everybody free refills, just you. Okay, so that means that's your end right there. That's all you have to do. And then you get her number. Just tell her to write it on the cup. You know how they write your name at Starbucks? They write your name on there. Tell her to write her name and her phone number on your cup. Then you say, I will cherish this always. I'll call you tonight. Then you go sit down and you do what you're supposed to be doing. She going to be there at the counter with her little heart racing, like, looking at you, smiling and grinning and shit. And you just be looking at her. You got to handle yourself like a G. Like I said, somebody asked me today, as a matter of fact, when I say like a G, what does that mean? And I broke it down. What did I say? It's like, it means that you're confident, you suave, you polished, you know what you're doing. It's, you got this. You have, charisma, you have things under control. you're large and in charge. I mean, it means all of those kinds of things, like a G when I say it. That's what I don't know what other people mean when they say it. But when I say it, it's like, you are so gangster, you are so tough, you are so polished, you're so smooth, so suave, so debonair, so in control, so confident that you just roll in there. This shit flies off your tongue. You get them digits, you call her up, and you be like, "What's up, coffee girl?" And then you talk, and then you ask her out on a date. Say, "Let me get you away from that coffee shop. What do you like to do? Where you want to go?" Shit's opening back up all over the Bay Area, so you can do that. You can make a date. You can take her out to dinner. You can take her out to lunch. You can go mini golfing, whatever what fuck she likes to do. Go to the beach. The weather's we having a hot spell here in the Bay Area this year. Wasn't that smooth though, Miss A? I'm telling you, if I was a dude, I would have all the pussy, all of it. Just because it's just so easy. I don't know why men be making this so full of angst and talking about, I don't know how to talk to women. I'm so afraid of rejection. Like you gonna die if somebody says no. Say that's how you be like a G. If a girl says, well, no, no, thank you, say, okay, no problem. You're still cute though. Wink at her and go on about your business. That's a G move. Okay? And then she gonna be sitting there like, oh, he didn't act stupid when I said no. I guess he's all right with it. He got a nice personality. And then, if you come talking to her again, she might change her mind. You just never know. But you that run off and act like babies and throw tantrums and want to call the women names and hit on them and, touch them and punch them and throw shit at them and all that stuff. Nobody wants to go out with you because you're stupid. Okay? You need to act like a G, like I said. Be smooth with your shit. Display confidence and self-assuredness. And then more women will be attracted to you. You're sitting up there quivering like a baby and like your knees rattling in your shoes and stuff, scared to even say hello to a woman. I'm like, what in the world is wrong? What is these dudes made out of these days? I'm telling you. Ooh, Lord. Let me be a dude. I have to show them how it's done. Just weak. But anyway, that's what you do, young man. Okay, just so practice that. Get your okay. Remember, if you got to watch that movie, Lady Sings the Blues. Okay, there's a scene where Billy D. Williams looks up at Diana Ross's character. Was she playing? I forgot the singer. And they had this like spotlight on his face coming in from the top at the side. And that motherfucker looked up like that and he was all his royal finest. And I was like, oh my God. I never really liked him that much until only that one scene. And then I like him in Star Wars when they went up to his ship and he saw Princess Leia and he flipped his cape back and he reached for her hand and he was like, hello, I'm Lando Calrissian, the proprietor of this establishment. And he kissed her hand. I'll never forget that scene. That shit was smooth as hell. And I'm like, see, Billy D got it going on. So many young men, they never saw them movies. And they don't really pay, they Star Wars, they looking at the lightsabers and stuff. No, focus on Billy D. Williams and how smooth he was. Brother man was smooth. I'll never forget that line. You see, it's all these years later, I still remembered it. I'll never get that look he gave her and how he did that. And his flipping his cape back like his ass was James Brown or something. Blair, I don't remember that scene. I'm going to have to see that. But yes, honey, I'm trying to tell you, you got to be smooth with it. And I think if more dudes were smooth with that stuff, even if the woman said no, you would stay on her mind. So if she saw you out and stuff, she would run up to you saying, hi, how are you? And stuff, and she would be wondering if she made a mistake not going out with you. That's what you want. So you don't want to leave her in a way where she's glad that you gone. You want to leave in a way that leaves her questioning if she made a mistake. And y'all so stupid, you don't even get that. You don't have no game in your mind. These young dudes are just stupid as hell. And these men that they be listening to online, telling them all this crazy stuff about women and they believe it. It's so easy to get women if you just have some fucking confidence and some balls. My God. And of course, you got to look like something. Don't be a no Ugg muffin. If you a Ugg muffin, you're going to need to have some money. But you can still get women if you got money. Look at Harvey Weinstein, whatever his fucking name was. He looked like a Gila monster to me. But he had a lot of women. but that's because he had billions. He couldn't have smelled my fart though. He would have come trying to talk to me. I'd been like, get thee away from me, Satan, with the holy water. Okay, let's move on. I'm having too much fun with this. But anyway, that's what you do, young man. Okay, be smooth with it. Have confidence when you go up and talk to the girl. Get her number and then make the magic happen. Question 23. This is a female in the 21 to 25 age group from Queensland, Australia. I need help figuring out why I keep dating the wrong dudes. Oh. My most recent example, colon. My ex started out as a lovely and kind person. We had many common interests. He showered me with affection, and I started believing in a secure future with him. I truly believe we were a perfect match. Sound like a love bombing narc to me. Well, that did not last. As we became serious, a few red flags started popping up and then more and more. For example, he started acting cold towards me for reasons I couldn't even understand. He would regularly say the rudest things imaginable. He would actively avoid confrontations, and I had to eventually walk on eggshells around him. He would give me the silent treatment for weeks. He would apologize and then repeat his behavior. At some point, I realized that he was an emotionally unintelligent person and we are incompatible. But to realize that, I had to get really involved and attached with him, since at the beginning, none of the red flags showed themselves, and I was actively trying to deny that no future actually awaited for us two. This is something I have also dealt with in my previous relationships, although to a lesser degree. There are times when I angrily think that perhaps all men are more or less unavailable and distant, or just maybe emotionally unintelligent. Bingo. I understand that thinking this way is wrong and sexist. No, it's accurate. But I am currently genuinely terrified of dating again and feel like I cannot trust anyone anymore. I'd appreciate any advice that you can give me. Let me tell you something about this. Men who are serious about a relationship are cautious. They're cautious. They might propose early in the relationship, 4 or 5 months down the line and stuff, but they're not gonna come in the gate doing all this stuff, showering you with affection and let you believe you have a secure future and that you're the perfect match and all that stuff. That's the new term for that is love bombing. I used to always call it the full court press before love bombing came out in the mid 20 teens. But it's the same principle. They just the full court press. They just giving everything. They doing everything. They Johnny on the spot. Everything, all your dreams will come true. I'm the fairy godfather. Just tell me what you want, baby. I will make it happen. They make all kind of promises. They always calling. They're full of flattery. They do everything. Textbook seduction. You being as young as you are, 21 to 25 age group, did not know that what was happening to you, but now you understand. A guy comes on in a gate like this, he's running game. Okay. Men who are serious, they might compliment you and stuff, but they're more nervous. They're more scared because they really like you, but they're very aware of the fact that if they come on too strong, they might run you off. That you'll scare you, quote, scare you away. So they hold back on this kind of stuff. They're not like this. So you women who are very hungry for this kind of acknowledgement and affection are always the ones that fall prey to narcs because you so fucking needy. You sit up there and it's not normal for a man to come at you like this. It's not normal for somebody to want to call you and talk to you and all the time and all night long and all this kind of shit. Plus, don't you have some work or school to do? You should have something going on in your life that you're not even that available to him to be running this kind of game on you. So see, part of this is the women's fault. They say, well, these narcs, this and that, and he gets me and this and that. He can't get you if you don't present yourself to be got. Have something going on in your life. So he want to call and talk to you all night. Say, no, I have to hang up now because I have school in the morning. I have work in the morning. I have a meeting in the morning. I have a presentation due in the morning. I have to practice. I can't stay on the phone tonight. My kids need me. My mother needs me. Life needs me. I'm reading a book. I'm doing my nails. I'm petting my dog. I'm doing whatever you doing. You doing something where you don't be on the phone with no motherfucker for no 2 or 3, 4, 5 hours. Remember what I said about money. Time is money. And you giving all that time to a man that in a void like that, that's stupid. That's an unintelligent way to use your time. So watch out for that. I mean, a lot of women like it because they feel like it's a fairy dream story come true and all this old kind of stuff. I'm telling you, a dude who's serious is going to take his shit a lot slower than this. He's going to be cautious because of his fear that he's going to scare you off or do something wrong that you're not going to like and you're going to break up. So this kind of stuff, if you see a dude coming on this strong, already know that it's a narc and he's trying to get you caught up in his web of lies. So that's one thing I would suggest to you. Slow shit down. Don't be so available. Think more. And here you said, as we became serious, a few red flags started popping up, and then more and more and more. So he started acting cold towards me for a reason I couldn't understand. Once he started doing that, you were supposed to end the relationship. My number one rule is if you're with a man and he's not giving you the relationship that you want at any time and for any reason, you cut it off. Straight off. You don't take no shit from a man. You don't let him ignore you. You don't let him stand you up. You don't let him say he's going to call you at a certain time and then don't call you and you still hanging by the phone or what shit you calling him. You didn't call me. How come you didn't call me? A lot of you do that. A guy want to take you out and then you get there and then he's talking about what your half is this. No, motherfucker, you asked me out. I'm not paying shit. I don't give a shit. Fuck if you have to go in the corner and hold to get the money. You better do something because I'm not paying nothing. I'll get up and walk the fuck out of here and then do it. So, this kind of stuff is like, these guys can set these traps, but you are responsible for if you fall into them or not. It requires you to be more aware and to have some strict boundaries in place. As soon as they start this kind of bullshit, you cut them loose. And he's like going to be cold to you and say, well, I see that you doing some bullshit right. You on some bullshit right now, and I'm not down with it. So let's just take a break from this shit right here, and I'll talk to you in the next lifetime. And you hang up and block him. Yeah, because that's a game. Because the game. This is, and I talked about this in that series I did, the 25 ways that black men try to get black women to jump through hoops. This is one of the games that they run. They'll get you in a situation, and then first they'll be all lovely and lively and all that stuff, right? And then they stop talking. This could be on a date where first you guys are having a really good time, and then suddenly he shuts down and gets moody and all that stuff. They do that on purpose. The goal is to get you to stop thinking about yourself and start wondering what you did wrong and trying to appease and placate him. So it flips the power. Whereas before, on a normal date, the guy is trying to appease and placate the woman because he wants to get you, right? But they flip the script like that, and you guys who don't know these games fall for it. And so when he does that, you're supposed to look at him and say, well, drop me off at the next corner. I'll catch an Uber home because I can see you on some bullshit and you don't want to talk to nobody and you want to sit over there and act stupid. So I'm done. This is not my idea of a good time. I'm out on a date to have fun, and you ain't no fun right about now. And then watch his face change. Oh no, I was just thinking about something. He gonna have some excuse why he gonna abandon that bullshit game. But see, to me, it's too late because once you already showed me that you trying to play this kind of power tripping game with me, I'm done. It's a wrap, son. I might let you take me home, but you guess what? We ain't fucking, and I'm not gonna see you again because you've already showed yourself to be stupid, and I'm not down with no stupid man. They just I just cannot with these dudes. So, if you're a new, you're a young girl and because this series I did it, about 2, 3 years ago, but it's 25 videos. It was really going to be 12. And I kept thinking of more bullshit that they do. Finally, at 25, I made myself stop. It could be endless. But it's called there's a playlist for it. The 25 things black men do to make black women jump through hoops. It was oriented towards the games that black men play that I know very well, but I'm sure it applies to other ethnicities as well because that nothing is exclusive. But I can only talk from the perspective that I personally know, right? So I was talking about black men because that's who I've always dated. That's who I was married to. That's who most of the ladies here date as well. So I've referenced, the points that are going to work with my audience. And that series is vital if you are a woman who's back in the dating scene or if you're a young girl just getting your feet wet in dating. You have got to know the types of games that they're going to be trying to run on you to get power over you. It's everything that men do that involves games like that is about getting the upper hand and getting the power over you, getting the control in the relationship. So do that. Yeah, I know they do. Being trifling is not limited to a color. But I don't date white dudes. So what I'm gonna look like talking about? Well, yeah, white dudes do this. I'm gonna talk about, like I said, what I know. Because I'm talking about from personal experience and experience of my listeners, and the majority of them, like 98%, deal with black men. There's others that are they're starting to deal with other ethnicities, but the majority of the black women on this channel deal with black men, and that's just the way it is. So when I do a series or something like that, we're talking to the majority of the participants on the channel. So, it's not like I'm trying to exclude nobody or something, but somebody's gonna be talking about from their field of area of expertise. That's mine. My area of expertise is not what Asian men do, or white boys do, and Latino dudes do. It's not that, because I mean, I have dated them, but that's not, my primary relationship is not with those kind of guys. Date them for a while, whatever, but it was nothing really serious. Okay, now let's move on. We got two more questions. Question 24. This is a young man out of London. He's 21 to 25. He says, my 14-year-old brother misbehaves with my mother, and I don't know what to do. I'm 22, and our whole family is from Pakistan. I could really use advice from a woman older than me in this regard, which is why I'm writing. I found out about you on Facebook. Hmm. Madam, my younger brother misbehaves with my mother all the time. He shouts at her, replies rudely, and whatnot. And when I get angry and shout back at him, he hits me, and my mother also scolds me for shouting at him. I don't know what to do. I got into a huge fight with him last night. My neck got strained due to stress. I don't know what to do. I'm starting to hate my brother's existence. Would really appreciate some advice. If he puts his hand on you, knock him the fuck out. That's what you do. See, this is how I think. You're a grown man. He's a 14-year-old kid who's got a mouth and a fucked up attitude. If he should hit you, you draw back like you are dealing with another grown man and you knock the fuck out of him. That's what you do. One good time, he'll be all right. And then when he comes to, you say, don't you ever put your little fucking hands on me again, and don't you ever touch mom again, or I'm going to do the same thing to you. And I'm going to keep doing it until you have a concussion or some shit and end up in the hospital. Do you understand where I'm coming from? What you trying to do here is unacceptable. Any day you don't like what's going on in this house, get your fucking little ass out. Become a runaway. Go away somewhere. Go to a group home. Live on the street. Whatever the fuck you want to do. But as long as we're in this house and we're feeding and clothing you, you're going to show some goddamn respect. The second you don't want to do that, I'm going to punch the fuck out of you again, little motherfucker. That's what you do. You at 22, do not let some 14-year-old or any young age man hit your mama. You do not do that. You beat the fuck out of him like he's a man. And that's just how you're going to do. At 14 years old, I know, because all he has to do is say he was hitting his mother and he was defending the mother. Nothing's going to happen to him. Stop being an alarmist. This is a situation that requires strict intervention. Like my brother got like that, my oldest brother. He was about that age too, for about 14. And he thought he was not going to listen to my mother, right? My mother, always was the one in charge of us. That was their rule. Because after my father tried to intervene one time and try to overrule something she had played in place about, punishment, and she gave him the riot act, honey, and told him, "Don't you ever, as long as your nigga ass is black, come in this house and try to override, undermine my authority with these children. You're not here. I am. I'm the one that make sure that they get their schoolwork done, get to school, and she rattled off all the stuff she does. And so if they do something wrong, I'm the one that's gonna institute the punishment, and you gonna back it up." And he said, "Oh, okay." And then that was that. So from that moment forward, he handled, other stuff outside the house, the lawn, the dogs, the vehicles, all that stuff. And my mother handled the house and us. Okay, and we knew. So my brother decided at 14 that he wanted to change in that platform. And so he gonna tell my mother, "I don't have to listen to you because this is my daddy's house." He actually said that. So me and my other brothers, we was looking at him like, "Woo, boy, you done lost your mind. What is wrong with you? You done went crazy." Something. And we just sitting there at the dinner table looking like we at a movie theater with popcorn, because we were eating our food and looking at each other like this, like we was waiting for the carnage, because we already knew. My mother said, "Oh, is that right?" She picked up that phone and she called my daddy. And he's like, I'll be right there. And so he came home because he was at a business meeting with, so she knew where he was and everything. So she called that place and they put him on the phone and she told him what's going on. My father says, I have to, told people we have to pick this up later. He came down to the house and he got in my brother's face and said, what did you say to your mother? I told her this and that. And he had the nerve to say it again. And we was not leaving the table because we already knew when fists start flying, stay in the same zone, which is out of the way at the table. Because my father was not a big man. He was about 5'10", 5'11". But this man was so strong, he could pick up a refrigerator on his back by himself and take it up 2 or 3 flights of stairs. Okay, he was crazy strong. And I was not trying to fuck with that man ever. If he said jump, I'd be like, Daddy, do I get a running leap or just start from here? What you want me to do? But my brother, he's feeling like he had kung fu and lifting weights and shit. At 14, he had a little buff on him for a 14-year-old, but nothing like my father. And so he said something else, and my father said, oh, you going to talk to me like you a grown man? I'm going to treat you like one. And my father took one step back and punched my brother right in the solar plexus right here. All the air from when my brother was born was knocked out of him. That little nigga laid on the floor trying to catch his breath. I mean, we actually got scared because he wasn't breathing for so long. And my mother was looking concerned, like she might have to start doing CPR or something, chest compressions and stuff. He was like, trying to get a breath. And my father was just standing over him saying, now that you don't have no breath, let me tell you how this is going to go. You're not going to raise your voice. You're not going to talk back. You're not going to do shit. When your mama tells you to do something, nigga, you going to do it. Don't have me coming back here to punch you in the chest again. And then he got up and he left. Went on back to his meeting. And you know what? My brother was Johnny on the spot. Even to this day. He, my mom died now, but, he was just like the model son after that. Mommy, what you need? Let me send you some money. Let me take you out. Let me send you a ticket so you can, see my other brother. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's go to, come down. I'll take you to Disneyland. Bring Taryn, my daughter. Bring her. You guys can go. I'll take her. So he, yes, I definitely, I'm more like my father than anybody in my family, any of my brothers and sisters. And yeah, that's what they said. I witnessed that with my own eyes. I never seen somebody not breathe for so long and still live. Cause dude was like for the longest trying to get an air. Oh, yeah, he got because if had that been allowed to escalate. So anyway, dude, I told you that wild, crazy story, which is a true story, so that you could understand the importance of you arresting this behavior now while your brother's still young, because he's gonna do something to your mother and really hurt her, maybe put her in the hospital, or possibly kill her, and then what? So what you have to do is intervene. And if he gets too ridiculous, call social services or the police or something and have him carted out of there. Even being in juvenile for a short time will probably scare the fuck out of him. And then he'll, after getting punched by you and then getting carted off to juvenile hall where there's some real gangsters, then I think he'll come back with a new attitude. Yeah, I thought it was funny then too, because it wasn't me. So, that's what he got. I felt like, he was just doing all this running off at the mouth and thinking he gonna be trying to, be what you call it, regulating on my mother. And she was a little thing, 'cause she was strong too, but she wasn't, she wasn't gonna do nothing with a 14-year-old muscled up boy. And so that's why she called my father. He took care of it with one punch. That this is a true story. It's my daddy. Ooh, yeah, I didn't fuck with that man. He's crazy. He was crazy. So our last question of What the Fuck Tuesday for the 1st of June. If you have not already, please hit that like button. I see there's been hundreds of people through here at one time or another, and only 83 likes. Are you kidding me right now? Please hit the like button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's painless. You like the video. If you're not a subscriber to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw tonight, we do this every Tuesday. It's just buck wild around here. And I always go off into some tangent about and share stories from my crazy life that augment the column. So if you enjoyed yourself, you want to make sure you get the notices of when we go live, or sometimes I do pop-ups, just log onto my computer, decide I'm gonna do a live stream with no advance notice. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel so you get that. Yeah, my parents did not play. Nah. That's why I didn't do nothing. I didn't do shit until I was an adult. And when I was far, far away from them, where I knew that they was not. Like I was all the way in Texas. Then I was like, okay, well now I think I could do some shit. But then my uncle was there, so I couldn't really do that much. Okay, let's move on to check to the last question of the column. While you all hit the like button, this is a male in the 26 to 28 age group from the UK. I'm 28 and I matched with this 26-year-old girl on Hinge at the beginning of last week. We spoke a few days in app and conversation was great. So I gave her my number on Friday and we've been texting each other a few times every day since then. However, since moving things to texting, the conversation isn't as captivating. We still have topics we talk about, but it's definitely not as engaging as it was when we were talking through the app. I'm used to talking to girls who message a lot as that builds up anticipation for the date. It gets me looking forward to it more, and I've always been like that. It was just a little bitch. On the weekend, I asked her for a game of mini golf and booze for this Thursday, but she said she'd rather just have a drink and get to know each other, which I agreed to. It's gotten to the point where I don't reply as quick in case the conversation goes stale. You know what? I don't like you. I just want you to know. I'm just reading this and I'm just really not liking you at all. You so full of shit. Maybe it's different communication styles, different cultures and backgrounds. I'm English and she's French, or something else. Maybe I'm looking into it, but this is the first time I have a date lined up with someone who doesn't get me excited via texting. She's my type from a physical point of view, if you're wondering. Just curious if you do that online dating, has it been a similar position? Wait, I'm just curious if any of you ladies that do online dating has been in a similar position. Gotten to the point where I'm not excited for the date due to the texting conversation, but excited due to her appearance, the fact that she seems sweet, and the in-app chat somewhat, but lacks a personality over text. So you are basing all of this, and you wrote me. See, this is the kind of shit I'm talking about. First world problems. White people. You don't have shit going on in your life, but you gonna worry about some texting, and the other girl's worrying about who's following her on social media. That was on Sunday. Y'all be tripping about stupid stuff. Let me just explain something to you, son. It is not a woman's job to excite you with texting or anything else. You saw something you liked, which is why you reached out to her. You liked what she looked like. You were chatting with the girl. It was interesting. It was fun. Did it ever occur to you that maybe she's just not into texting? You know, that's rather juvenile. You're a grown man. You in the 26 to 29 age group. That means your ass on the downstroke to 30 and you still worrying about texting like you are 16. Do you know how stupid you sound right now? You trying to judge this woman on the fact that, well, her texting isn't making me excited to go on the date. You sound like a little bitch. It's not sexy and it doesn't sound masculine at all. I wish you would tell her this so she could break the thing off and not even go out with you. Because this is stupid. You're going to be sitting up there. Well, you don't text me. I've always had women who made me excited on the date because of the texting. That's why I say you're just a little bitch. It's a little bitch boy. You're looking for some woman to entertain you and make you excited and do all this shit. Make your damn self excited. Yeah, he's just like a fucking princess sitting up there, oh, entertain me, make me feel good. Remember Holly Berry? Make me feel good. Make me feel. But anyway, that's what you're doing, and it's just a fucking turnoff. No woman wants to be bothered with a man like you. Just too fucking high maintenance. My God. Be like a man. Like I said, G up. Shit. You don't worry about woman texting. You shouldn't be texting all the goddamn time trying to have a whole conversation with a text anyway. That shit is stupid. Pick up the phone like a grown up and have a conversation with your mouth with some words. These men and these fucking textings. And this texting shit, it gets on my nerves. It's so stupid. He's a little bitch. That's what he is. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. That's what you acting like. That's how you presenting yourself. So, like a princess, not like a G. So you need to G up. You roll up in there and say, yeah, I see you that one for texting. That's all right, baby. I got you. When are you free to have conversations? We'll switch up. We're not going to be texting. We're going to be talking. That's what you do. As a man, you should be able to read the signs of what a woman's, what gets her. That's the difference between beta males and players. Players get women because they're good at that. They read signs and symptoms, signals from women, and they don't take it personally. They don't look at it as a rejection of them. They look at it, this is what she likes, and so I'm going to modify my program to give her what she wants because I want her. See? But y'all don't think like that. You just wait, I'm not excited because she doesn't text me like my princess ass wants her to. Oof. We don't need to text because we know how to use words. If you notice these younger people when they try to speak to you, they talk like they're texting. Because I used to see my daughter talking like that, right? So you know how you'd write LOL when you're laughing out loud? So somebody would tell a joke and my daughter would say lol. Now admittedly she was, a teenager, so I let it go. But where they do that at? But her and her friends, that's what they did. They'd be like, lol. Or they would say the letters for different things, like, the acronym, the texting acronym, instead of saying the word. I thought it was some bizarre shit. But like I said, they was, 17, 18 years old. So that was different. That's you. Please stop doing that. Don't do that. And then you notice when these young people, they write stuff, even with the advice letters they write in, they have all these, RU instead of ARUYOU. I mean, AREYOU. They put the letter R and the letter U. RU. Okay, you're talking to a woman who is old enough to be your mother. Do not be talking to me in text typing. So I told Candace if they write in like that in the future, delete their letter. Don't even put it in there because when I get on the air, I don't want to read that shit. I want somebody who provides me with the respect that I deserve. You write to me and you write like you have some fucking sense. Write a normal letter. Anybody I'm telling you, so we've been deleting those. I don't want to see those. I used to she put up in the thing anymore. I don't want to see that. I'm not gonna be trying to decipher all them cryptic letters and figure out what the fuck all that shit means. I'm not doing that to myself. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. It's very disrespectful when you're dealing with an elder. Now, you dealing with your friends, your peers, that's one thing because all y'all do that to each other. But you talking to an elder, you don't do that. You use your fucking words and show them the respect that they deserve. Not only that, then half of them, the older people, they don't know what you're talking about anyway. I know, but I still don't want to do it. I'm trying to, read with expression and feeling and stuff. And I have to stop and decipher what your acronym means. I just that it ruins the flow of the show. And I don't want to do that. All right. Yes, thank you. I think so too, Diana. But that's why I'm saying let's not have that, young people. But anyway, that's our show for today. I'm so glad that you guys are uh that you guys showed up and were supportive of the channel. Welcome to all the new people. I hope that you find your way back here. We'll be back on Friday to do this all over again with our Flummox Friday, where we're like totally like, huh? What? What are you talking about? What did you do that for? That's what we do on Friday, just like tonight. And then starting next Friday, the 11th, we start our summer programming, which is called the Dusty News Network, where people send in these crazy memes and comments and all kind of crazy stuff that they found online, and we put them on slides and we drag people, and it's just hilarious. And we've done this will be the third or fourth season of doing that. So this is just for the summer. That's all we do, and then in the fall we get back to our serious stuff. But we have lots of laughs every summer, and I hope that you are here and join us and have some of this fun with us. So thanks again, everybody, all my regulars and Lady Boss, or Shay. I keep wanting to call her Lady Boss, a.k.a. Shay, my lovely On Top of Things moderator. I will see you all very soon, like on Friday evening. If you got a question, look in the show description down below and submit it to the column. It's not too late. I'll see you all real soon. Bye-bye.